This is a live presentation of the Ticats Audio Network. Are you ready? Ticats football is on the air.
Touchdown, Tiger Cats! Caught it! It's a touchdown!
Number 17, Luke Tasker, what a catch!
Now the voice of the Tiger Cats. Here is RJ Broadhead with analyst Luke Tasker.
Good afternoon, everybody. Great to have you with us on the Ticats Audio Network. The Tiger Cats home at Tim Hortons Field to take on the Ottawa Redblacks, and two 0-4 teams. Nobody expected that, at least not from these two organizations. Beautiful day. It's 29 degrees. Feels like 31, so it is a hot day. The wind about 16 kilometers coming from the south, and the sun is shining. It's beautiful. The west side of the stadium starting to be in the shade, but the east side full sun. And Luke Tasker will be joining me shortly. He is the alumnus of distinction for this game, and the Tiger Cats have been honoring a former player to bring the team out. Luke's been running around on the field. He's had the sledgehammer wearing his familiar number 17 jersey. And he'll bring the Tiger Cats onto the field. They'll be wearing their black tops with gold pants and the gold numbers. A lot of things that the Tiger Cats would like to improve on after the bye week. 0-4 is not how they expected to start the season, but this is their first game against an East Division opponent. And the West Division has been the powerhouse division so far in the Canadian Football League. It's the same with the Redblacks. They haven't played an East Division opponent yet either. So winning those divisional games are going to be very important. We heard Bubba and Andy talk about it in the pregame show. You want to finish first or second because it is looking like it's going to go down that road of the crossover. No Jeremiah Masoli. That's a disappointment for a lot of Tiger Cats fans. He had a lot of success here in Hamilton. Caleb Evans will be the quarterback for the Ottawa Redblacks, and Dane Evans, of course, will be in for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. It was interesting in warm-ups. The very first Tiger Cat on the field was Dane Evans. He was out in his sleeveless white top and doing some stretching. He was out there by himself, and I think Tiger Cats fans have heard enough from Dane Evans over the years that he is a competitor. He is not happy with the way this season has started. And just seeing him out there before anybody else, you get the feeling that he's going to put a lot on his shoulders in this game as the Tiger Cats will try to get their first victory of the season. They've had leads after the third quarter twice, both home games, and lost both of those games. So those late collapses, and on the Coach O Show with Luke Tasker on the Ticats Audio Network, Orlando Steinauer said they have to finish games. We all know that. The statistics don't lie, so we will see if the Tiger Cats can get a lead and if they can close it out. Tiger Cats are gathering right on the Tiger Cat logo at midfield. Luke Tasker, again, the alumnus of distinction for this afternoon's game, and we'll see if the Tiger Cats win this game. He might be the alumnus of distinction all the time. The good luck charm. No Simone Lawrence. And as the Tiger Cats gather at midfield, Dylan Wynn has his helmet off, and he is fired up as he addresses his teammates. Dylan Wynn he's always a leader. No Simone Lawrence, who's also a leader of this team. We all know that, a vocal leader. Dylan Wynn might be taking a little more upon himself. So the Redblacks will be in all white with red trim. The Tiger Cats just heading to their sideline. We're going to get underway with the coin toss very shortly. So we will give Luke Tasker a little bit of time to run the stairs and get up to the 7th floor for the broadcast. Kickoff between the Redblacks and the Tiger Cats is just around the corner. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats off their bye week, so they've had a little bit of time to think of this 0-4 start. And they'll take on the Redblacks. Both these teams looking for the victory. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are playing the Argonauts right now in the Atlantic Bowl, and the Argonauts are actually leading that game 30-24 with just under 2 minutes to go, and the Rough Riders do have the football. So we'll see if it's a win for one of these teams. Let's take a listen to the coin toss here.
You're going to call heads? Call is heads.
So the Redblacks call heads. Avery Williams.
It is a head, and you've won the toss. You want the ball? Which end would you like to kick from? As we are? Ottawa receiving. Have a great game, gentlemen.
So Ottawa will receive to begin the game, and the Tiger Cats will start from the south end and head north. As we're looking at the field, that is from our right to our left. And Caleb Evans, the sophomore quarterback for the Redblacks, not the starting quarterback we thought when we looked at this game on the schedule after the Redblacks signed Jeremiah Masoli. Unfortunately, he was injured last week, so Caleb Evans, in his second season with the Redblacks, will be their starter. They did also trade for Nick Arbuckle, but that was late in the week, and he is not dressed for the Redblacks in this game. Caleb Evans can run, and we'll see what he can do with the throwing game. It's been consistently getting better for this Tiger Cats defense, allowing fewer and fewer yards. So if that continues, that's trending in the correct direction. Again, a beautiful sunny day in Hamilton. Some cirrus clouds, those wispy clouds, not very many of them. And a fairly light wind for Tim Hortons Field. We've had a couple of games this year where the wind has been a factor. It shouldn't be a major factor in this one. Dane Evans, he'll try to get the Tiger Cats back on track. Turnovers have been a problem, so protecting the football will be a key. And the second half turnovers in particular have been a problem. 15 turnovers on the season for the Tiger Cats. 13 have come in the second half, with 9 of those coming in the fourth quarter. The running game will be big for the Tiger Cats. Don Jackson, he's back in at running back for Hamilton. He played in the first game, was not effective, only wound up with 1 yard total, so he'll look to add to that. Currently, the Tiger Cats' leading rusher is Dane Evans with 65 yards, so that is a category that definitely needs to improve. Tiger Cats are over at their sideline. Cheerleaders currently on the field. Bit of a delay to the start of this game just because the Argonauts and Rough Riders are going a little bit longer. They want to match up with the television on TSN. The end of that game straight into the start of this game. So no secret that both of these teams are desperate for a victory. Under a minute to go in that Atlantic Bowl, and the Argonauts continue to lead the Rough Riders by 6 points. So if the Argonauts are able to hang on, they will be in first place in the East Division all by themselves, currently tied with Montreal with 1 win. And then we've got these two teams, the Tiger Cats and the Redblacks, looking for their first victory. One of them will get it this afternoon into this evening, barring a tie. So that game is getting close, and of course the Rough Riders have the football, and we've seen so many exciting finishes in the CFL this season that it will be something to keep an eye on, and I will certainly update you as we get set for the start of this game. And this game is brought to you by Ticats Insurance, provided by my insurance broker. Visit ticatsinsurance.ca to get a quote on your home and auto insurance. Luke Tasker will be joining myself, RJ Broadhead, in the booth very shortly, as he always does. He was doing double duty today. He was the alumnus of distinction, so he brought the Tiger Cats onto the field. He had the sledgehammer, and I'll have to ask him if it was a real sledgehammer. He was throwing that thing around like it was pretty light, so maybe Luke is getting ready for a comeback. And it looks like the Argos are going to win that game on the East Coast, as Cody Fajardo is throwing a couple of interceptions late in the game. So the Argonauts, much like they did last year, are finding ways to win. That is a big victory for Toronto and sort of takes a little of the luster off this one. Would have been nice to say the winner of this game will be tied for first place in the East Division. But tied for second place is much better than being 0-5. So neither one of these teams want that start to the season. Tiger Cats will have a short week here. They head to BC on Thursday, and that's a late game, a 10 o'clock Eastern start. And it is a final, so the Argonauts do win. They're the only two-win team in the East Division. 30-24 is the final there. Rough Riders did have a lead, but Cody Fajardo interception. Argonauts were able to cash in. And speaking of cashing in on turnovers, Tiger Cats, 44% of the points they've allowed this season have been off of turnovers. So protecting the ball, it's not a secret. It's always one of Andy's Carstar's keys of the game. And Bob Young is on the field with Pigskin Pete doing the Oski Wee Wee, and I just spotted Luke Tasker there too. There, he's out there. He's got the bowler. He was right into it. He told me on Ticats this week that would be a real thrill if he could be out there. So Luke will join us very, very shortly. He'll have to run the stairs, 7 floors up. He's an athlete. That'll be nothing for him. Almost set to go. The fireworks have gone off here at Tim Hortons Field. The wind has blown the smoke away, and the Redblacks will receive. Bit of a change in the kicking game for the Tiger Cats. Michael Domagala will be the punter, but he will do the kickoff here. Seth Small will be their field goal kicker. And we're underway. The two 0-4 teams looking for that first victory. And Michael Domagala kicks it down toward the near sideline. Terry Williams, the lightest player on the Redblacks roster, gets a pretty good return. He's up past the 40, almost to the 45, as he ran right along the numbers for a 32-yard return. Redblacks will be led by Caleb Evans coming into this game. Evans just 2 for 6 on the season for 58 yards, has not thrown a touchdown. He has thrown an interception. He did play a fair bit in 2021. He had 5 touchdowns. Caleb Evans in the shotgun. Immediately hands off to William Powell. There will be a heavy dose of the big running back for the Redblacks, and he'll get up across the 50, about halfway to the first down. No Simone Lawrence in the Tiger Cats lineup, so Kyle Wilson at that weak side linebacker. He wears number 15 for the Tiger Cats. Redblacks now 2nd and 4 from their own 50-yard line. They're on the near hash mark. 4 receivers to the left of Caleb Evans, and he's got an empty backfield, looks to the right, and he spots Jalen Acklin, the former Tiger Cat, who makes a great catch. The ball was a little bit behind him, and then Acklin walks right through that Tiger Cat sidelines, and he's doing some talking, some waving, and the officials ran over there just to make sure things didn't get out of hand. 22-yard gain, and Jalen Acklin came in as the Redblacks' leading receiver. That's a big gain for Ottawa. Positive yardage. They've moved the ball into Hamilton territory. Now on the Tiger Cats' 38-yard line. Caleb Evans. Another handoff to William Powell. He was running straight ahead, stopped. He was hoping something would open up. It didn't. Cam Kelly caught him, and a little help from Dylan Wynn, and it looks like it'll be a loss of about 2 yards for the Redblacks on first down. That pushes them back to the Tiger Cats' 40-yard line. Now 2nd and 12. So a 2nd and long here for the sophomore quarterback, Caleb Evans. He wears number 5 for the Redblacks. Has the running back, William Powell, lined up right behind him. Darvin Adams cuts in front of Evans. It is a quarterback keep, and he's going right through the middle. This is a big gain. He's across the 15. Caleb Evans on the quarterback keeper. It fooled the Tiger Cats defense, and it'll be another first down for Ottawa, and it is a great first possession for the Redblacks. So now up to the Tiger Cat 14-yard line. First possession of the football game, and the Redblacks are trying to cash it into the end zone. 3 receivers to the left of Caleb Evans. Hands off again to William Powell. He gets to the line, stutters, steps, tries to go straight ahead. He'll get a gain of a couple, but not very much, as the Tiger Cats were able to stop him right there. Julian Hauser right in the middle of it for Hamilton. Gain of about 4 yards for William Powell. They're going to say it's a gain of 5. So 2nd and 5. Ottawa on the Hamilton 9-yard line. Caleb Evans, 3 receivers to his right. That is the wide side of the field. He completes the pass to Jalen Acklin, and it's a touchdown. Jalen Acklin, no stranger to the end zone at Tim Hortons Field. This time he does it as a member of the Redblacks, and what a start for Ottawa. They couldn't have written it up any better, and you'd have to think that Jalen Acklin was for sure early on drawn into the game plan. He had a big catch to move the sticks. This is a touchdown, and Luke Tasker is now up in the booth with us.
Can you hear me?
I can
RJ,
hear you.
wow,
Yeah.
Sorry. Out of breath. Just got up the elevator.
You worked up a sweat. Lewis Ward comes on, and he hits the extra point. So we will hear from you when we come back, Luke. It's not a great start for the Tiger Cats.
A lot of football left.
Yeah, there is, absolutely. First possession for Hamilton is coming up after the break. It's an early 7-0 lead for Ottawa. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. Great start for Ottawa at Tim Hortons Field. A touchdown to Jalen Acklin, the former Tiger Cat. It's 7-0 Redblacks leading the Tiger Cats. I'm RJ Broadhead, joined by Luke Tasker. You've had a busy afternoon here, Luke, signing autographs. You brought the team onto the field. They better come back here. You don't want to be bad luck bringing the team onto the field.
Oh, no, it might be me.
So here's the kickoff. And we have seen some success on the kickoff from Lawrence Woods, and the crowd got a bit excited there. Looked like he had popped out of the scrum to get a couple of extra yards. He'll be close to the Tiger Cat 45-yard line, and that's where Dane Evans will bring the Tiger Cats offense onto the field, but not an ideal start for Hamilton. And maybe the worst part is Jalen Acklin, the former Tiger Cat. I know there's still a lot of fans of his here when he's not playing the Tiger Cats, but for him to get that touchdown, obviously sweet for him.
It is sweet for him, and he's a guy who was talked about in the offseason as maybe a lot of people wished he was back in the black and gold, but a lot of game left.
Here's a handoff immediately to Don Jackson, and Don Jackson came in with 1 yard, and that might... Well, it certainly wasn't a gain of very much, and they're going to move him back a yard. So on the season, Don Jackson is at 0 yards. It looked like he might have a little bit of room if he had got to the outside, but he was tripped up, and now it's 2nd and 11, so another 2nd and long here for the Tiger Cats. They're converting second downs at just 38.5% this season. Dane Evans in the shotgun, 3 receivers off to his right, the field side. Looks like he wants to go deep. Steps up to the line of scrimmage. He does throw deep. It is complete down to the 15-yard line. The ball pops loose, and the Redblacks have picked it up. Randall Evans picks it up. It was caught by Anthony Johnson for a huge gain, and then he fumbled it, and the Redblacks got it.
Wow. And that has been the story for the last 5 weeks on the Ticats Audio Network, is the turnovers. And then you have an enormous explosive pass play, and that is Anthony Johnson, who he is new to the lineup, new to the team, and he came in and to start the game off with that catch, incredible. And as he was trying to stiff arm his own defender, it was actually Hakeem Bailey, the boundary corner, came from the other side of the field with a perfectly placed helmet in a tackle, and just like that, another quirky turnover, another fumble right when you can't have it, and unfortunately the Ticats are up against the turnover bug again.
And it looked like they were in for sure points inside the 20, but now Caleb Evans takes over. He goes to his left, and he throws that direction, does not connect with Nate Bahar. There are flags on the field.
Dane Evans had done a great job of staying in the pocket there.
Hamilton, 5-yard penalty.
Boy.
Repeat first down.
So
of staying in the pocket there, and then and he's moved up and bought time and found a space to throw the ball and let Anthony Johnson develop on that deep bending post route over the middle is perfect.
Yeah.
And you gotta secure that ball at the top. And what did we say about Anthony Johnson in our podcast this week? Like, he's going to have a moment in the game where it's his time to go. And sure enough, second play of the game and a turnover.
And it would have been a huge gain. Caleb Evans under pressure, and the defense gets to him. Mason Bennett was there. Julian Hauser has his arm up in the air, showing the number 1. Looks like Hauser was the one who got the sack, and the defense needed that after a penalty pushed Ottawa up a little bit. This will move them back to a 2nd and 14. We're into the field position battle here. Luke, you talk about it all the time. This is big for the defense to try to get a stop here. And if they can, they should have pretty good field position. Ottawa on their own 15-yard line. A big 2nd and 14 here. Caleb Evans, the sophomore quarterback, looks to his right, runs to his right, throws across his body, completes it to Nate Bahar up the middle, right along the near hash mark, and he makes the reception, but it is not enough for a first down and nowhere near close enough to try to go for it.
Yeah, great defensive stop there, and that's all a result of the sack by Julian Hauser in the front 4. And that's what they're going to need a lot more of, because they've got to be able to find some rhythm and play complementary football with all sides helping each other.
Richie Leone leads the CFL in net punting yardage. Lawrence Woods, he has a kickoff return for a touchdown. That happened in the last game against Edmonton. Pretty good kick from Leone. He was deep in his own zone. This ends up in Woods' hands on his own 35. Had to battle to get up across the 40, but there are flags all over the place, and the ball might have come loose again. And Ottawa looks like they've come up with it, and the officials are indicating it is Ottawa football, but let's see what these flags are. This can't be another turnover, can it, Luke?
I think that this flag might be an illegal block against Hamilton, which is obviously going to be not going to matter if this ball ended up getting turned over. And it looked, he was very, very close to being on the ground, Lawrence Woods, when this ball popped loose. And it's hard to say if this fumble is going to stand or not.
So here's the call
on Hamilton. It'll be declined. The ball was fumbled. It'll be first down, Ottawa.
Wow. So this couldn't be much worse of a start for the Tiger Cats. Another turnover, and Ottawa will start on the Hamilton 34-yard line.
Wow. I mean, wow. Like,
yeah.
Really, really. I mean, you get tired of the same problem because you wish you could find a new answer. You know, you wish you could be, okay, we solved that. What next? No.
Yeah.
It's still the week 1 problem, and that is turnovers, because we are less than halfway through the first quarter here, and the Ticats, after having lost or given up the first points, have then since turned the ball over twice. I mean, really, really difficult.
So it's 7-0 for Ottawa. They'll start for the Hamilton 34. We'll take a quick break and be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Back at Tim Hortons Field, RJ Broadhead with Luke Tasker. It's 7-0 for Ottawa. A couple of turnovers have really proved costly for the Tiger Cats. This handoff goes to William Powell on first down for the Redblacks, and he didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1 for Ottawa. The defense has to come up big, and after the turnover, the fumble by Lawrence Woods on the punt, if Tiger Cats only give up 3 here, that's probably a small victory. About halfway through the opening quarter. Has not been good for the Tiger Cats. 2nd and 11. Ottawa on the Hamilton 35. Caleb Evans stayed in the pocket. Couple of Tiger Cats got hands on him, and finally Micah Johnson, with a little help from Mason Bennett, bring Caleb Evans down, and that is a huge loss. So with the Powell run and that sack, Luke, that'll push them back about 7 yards, making things a little more difficult for Lewis Ward.
Yep, and that is an encouraging part of this early of the game so far. They are Julian Hauser. We just saw him do a somersault on the field, and they're all over the place in there, and that needs to continue, because that is the strength of this game halfway through the first quarter.
Lewis Ward has been excellent for Ottawa, 12 for 13. This is a 49-yarder. The kick is wide, just his second miss this season, and the Tiger Cats are going to get out of this without giving up any points and able to run it up to close to the 30-yard line after the missed field goal. And the Tiger Cats, they escape what could have been a lot worse. A turnover, but they don't allow the Redblacks any points. They started on the Hamilton 34. It's still 7-0 Ottawa. We'll be back on the Ticats Audio Network. Welcome back to Tim Hortons Field. It's a big success for Hamilton that they did not give up points after the turnover. It's still a Redblacks 7-0 lead. Dane Evans back on the field. Hands off to Don Jackson, goes straight ahead for a couple of yards.
Yeah, unfortunate that the field position isn't better here to start this drive after a missed field goal, which is a classic moment in a game to really get your return man an opportunity. And Lawrence Woods, we've seen him with a great kick return already today, but that missed field goal didn't result in anything spectacular for the Ticats.
We've talked a lot about this too, Luke. 2nd and longs, another 2nd and 8 here for the Tiger Cats from their own 30-yard line. They'd like to move this ball, get some points of their own. Dane Evans in the pocket, pressures there, and they get him. The Redblacks sack Dane Evans, all kinds of pressure on him, and Avery Williams, the middle linebacker, celebrating as Dane Evans will run to the sidelines. A 2-and-out here for the Tiger Cats, and Michael Damagala on to punt. He is the punter this afternoon.
This is different, and we'll talk about how this kicking team for Craig Butler and the Hamilton Tiger Cats looks throughout the evening. But new, next man up and new position for Damagala.
Damagala standing on his own 10-yard line to punt this football. His first punt of the season, not a great one. Terry Williams drifts up right to midfield to make the catch. Tried to make a move, fell down. He was right near the sideline. He got a 5-yard return, maybe 6. But the Redblacks are going to start this drive in Hamilton territory on the Tiger Cats 49-yard line. We'll be back. Redblacks lead the Tiger Cats 7-0. This is the Ticats Audio Network.
This week on the Ticats Audio Network.
Bye week was awesome. It was good to get away, good to get refreshed. You never completely turn it off, as you're aware, Luke. But I think it came at a great time for us. And but there is that time when you're itching to get back. So that's where we're at right now.
Well, that's Coach O on how the time off was for him. He chatted with Luke this week on the Coach O Show with Luke Tasker on the Ticats Audio Network. And sometimes after a bye, there's a little bit of rust. It's been a rusty start for the Tiger Cats, but the good news is with 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter, they're only down 7-0 despite turning the ball over twice.
Yep, absolutely, and that kind of is the only place that I can highlight right now of bad play. There's been a couple sacks in their favor, though one against as well, but gotta correct that mistake.
Caleb Evans, empty backfield. The pass is tipped. It's intercepted. Intercepted by Cam Kelly, his second of the season, and he brings it back to midfield. We talked about it on Ticats this week, Luke. The defense has to get some momentum going. They did it last year. It seemed to swing things and spur the offense on. This is a big play by the defense, and Cam Kelly with the interception.
So great. I think it was Dylan Wynn who tipped the pass at the line of scrimmage, and Cam Kelly in the right place to make that. And now the Ticats get it right at the center line and kill that excellent field position that the Redblacks were about to start off with. Huge momentum shift, big plays coming from the Ticats defense.
Exactly right, Luke. Dylan Wynn got his hand on it. Cam Kelly the interception. Now at midfield, Tiger Cats take over. Ball is handed off to Don Jackson. Tries to run to his right and able to get a few yards before the Redblacks are able to put up the roadblock. Looks like they'll say it's about 3-yard gain.
You know, they're really active in the run game right now, and not to great success yet, but they're going to keep on trying this out and trying to make that run game work. Boy, after that first drive from the Redblacks, Ticats defense is playing great football right now.
Looked like sure points after the Lawrence Woods fumble as Ottawa took over on the Hamilton 34. No points that time. Dane Evans drops back to pass. Now he'll run up again, and he throws on the run, completes it to Tim White, breaks a tackle. He's the Tiger Cats leader in yards after catch, and he will be close to the 40-yard line of the Redblacks.
Hamilton, number 64. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Yeah, there was the flag, and it's against the Tiger Cats.
Coulter, Wood, Manzi, and man, you know, it's of course that happens, and it was kind of honestly away from the throw to Tim White, who was just in the flat, coming out into the flat from Dane Evans' left, and I think you could kind of argue that it was sort of an inconsequential holding, unfortunately. And so that timing is just horrendous. You know, it didn't really help the play that he held his defender, and sure enough, you get what was a first down and moving it well into Ottawa territory, gets taken back, and now you're back into your own territory behind where this drive started.
Almost everything that could go wrong for the Tiger Cats in this opening quarter has. But they only trail 7-0. First possession of the game. Jalen Anklin gets the touchdown, the former Tiger Cat. It is 3rd and 17. Tiger Cats now on their own 48-yard line. Dane Evans drops back. Looks like he wants to throw deep. Spots Tyler Turnowski at the Ottawa 50-yard line. He needed to get to the 45, so he'll be at least 5 yards short of the first down, and that will bring out the punting unit with Michael Domagala.
Yeah, this is a great chance for Michael Domagala. First game punting. He's been kicking all season for the Ticats. This is a great opportunity for him to make an impact here. This is a field position here on the Ottawa 50 where he can potentially pin them deep. They do have 2 returners back to try to handle those directional punts.
First punt for Michael Domagala, just 31 yards. This time he's standing on his own 45-yard line, and the returners for Ottawa, they're spread out at the numbers on their own 5. This one's going to R.J. Harris, and
good kick.
It lands. Well, that looked like it went out of bounds, Luke, but they're going to say it's into the end zone, and R.J. Harris picks it up, and that will be a single point for the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, from where we're sitting, the sun is shining in that northeast corner of the field, and I thought that hit out in the white,
yes,
over on the 5-yard line, which would have been spectacular, but it traveled right up the hashes right on the edge there into the end zone, but very close to being an excellent kick, and you can't really ask for much more than close to that.
61-yard punt for Michael Domagala. And it turns into a point for the Tiger Cats. So now it's a 7-1 lead for Ottawa. Shadows starting to creep onto the west side of the field. The sidelines almost covered in shadows. Beautiful hot day. Saturday evening now in Hamilton. Caleb Evans. Play action. Now he's lofted it deep, and it's caught to Jalen Anklin. He's across the 30, the 25, the 20. And another massive play. Caleb Evans to Jalen Anklin. Anklin likes those quarterbacks with the last name Evans, but this has put Ottawa in a great spot again, down to the Hamilton 20.
It was a vicious double move, a slant and go from the left side against Jamal Roll. Anklin ran the slant and put a hard foot in the ground and got his leverage back outside.
Tiger Cats are lucky they caught him. Jamal Roll, Tunde Adeleke both had to fly to catch up. 49-yard gain now on the Hamilton 20. Fresh set of downs. Caleb Evans got the snap. It was a high snap. Throws it immediately off to that left side, and breaking tackles, trying to spin to get a few extra yards, was Terry Williams, who's normally their returner. They've been using him in the offense a lot more lately, and he'll be across the 15-yard line down to the 13. Second and 3 for Ottawa. Minute 25 to go in the opening quarter. It's 7-0 Redblacks. They're on the Hamilton 13-yard line. Caleb Evans, 3 receivers to his right, looks that direction. He's under pressure. There's a flag, and Caleb Evans running to his right, throws across his body, and almost picked off by Ted Laurent.
Kyle Wilson, who's filling in for Simone Lawrence today at the will linebacker position, put a pretty nice hit in there on Caleb Evans right as he got rid of that ball.
Ottawa number 63. Now penalties decline. Third down.
Yeah, so they'll decline that for what will now be, instead of getting them another chance at a 2nd and 8, it's 3rd and 3, and they'll get a chance to get an additional 3 points here before this first quarter ends.
It hasn't been a great quarter for the Tiger Cats. First quarter has been their best so far this season. So maybe this is an indication it's changing. It's going to be the reverse. They're going to finish strong now. Lewis Ward missed his first field goal attempt. This one much shorter, just a 20-yarder, little chip shot, and Ward hits this one. And there's under a minute to go in the opening quarter. 10-0. The Redblacks lead the Tiger Cats in the battle of 0-4 teams.
The Ticats defense is it's like two different, you don't know which one you're going to get on the field because they've made 2 very nice sacks. They've gotten pressure on Caleb Evans, and they've stopped a few drives in their tracks and got a turnover. But then there's 2 drives where just a couple consecutive explosive plays and driven down for points. Now, huge win there to hold them short of another touchdown and keep the game, in a reasonable distance point-wise. But boy, got to solidify against those explosive plays.
I want to ask you something about that, Luke. Tiger Cats about ready to go here. Dane Evans getting motion off to the right. That's the direction he looks. He throws, and it is incomplete to Tim White. Sherrod Baltimore throws the hit. An incomplete pass. So Jalen Ackland, those 2 big plays were thrown to him. Does he have some inside info? As a former Tiger Cat, would he be able to read something there to lead to those big plays?
I think so. I think it's just possible that in his game planning, he practiced against guys all day, and this is a very similar defensive secondary to what he was teammates with last year. And I think they gave him the call to say, where do you want that post or that slant and go, on the field.
Dane Evans, 2nd and 10. It is caught right at the near sideline by Braylon Addison, and he gets the first down, much needed first down. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down.
Really nice comeback from the slot there. Braylon Addison, so clean and crisp at the top of his breaks, and Dane hit him right on time.
First down of the game for the Tiger Cats, and this is a pretty good run from Don Jackson. Goes up the middle, good burst. It'll be a little easier 2nd down. Should be a gain of about 6.
Matt Schultz coming on the field now.
So 1 second to go in the opening quarter. Redblacks lead the Tiger Cats on a beautiful, hot, sunny day, 10-0. And you're right, Luke, it's Matt Schultz in at quarterback for this 2nd and 4. Is it a quarterback keeper? Schultz is going to keep it, and he is going to get the first down. He's across the 45-yard line and stands up and immediately makes the first down motion. This first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Yeah, really nice called quarterback run. Had the draw coming to his right and kept it himself, and right up the middle for a nice game.
Tiger Cats moving the ball. We're through 1 quarter. It is a 10-1 lead for the Ottawa Redblacks. Jalen Ackland, the former Tiger Cat, pretty good first quarter. We'll be back with second quarter action from Tim Hortons Field on the Ticats Audio Network.
This is Rob Hitchcock
And I'm Mike Morielli. Now back to Luke and RJ.
on the Ticats Audio Network.
All right. Thanks, Morielli and Hitch. Ticats Audio Network. Dane Evans rolls to his right and spots Tyler Turnowski. It's complete. It's a first down for the Tiger Cats. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down, and they have 3 in the game. They've all come on this drive.
So we've got Matt Schultz and Dane in the game right now, and they just did a little pitch motion, and look at this. Matt Schultz is lining up at shotgun. Dane's behind him.
So this is what happens in a bye week. Schultz was going to run it to Dane Evans, and he had Dunbar behind coverage, but the pass was behind him. It goes incomplete. They've had some time to work on these different formations.
Very interesting. So we see one where Matt Schultz takes the snap and gives it to Dane like a reverse, like a wide receiver run out of the backfield, and then Schultz pitches it to Dane. So Schultz is out of the game now, but wow, some creative stuff from Tommy Condell's offense.
Second and 10. Tiger Cats are on the Ottawa 27-yard line. It's a 10-1 lead for the Redblacks. Dane Evans, 4 receivers off to his left. That's the field side, the wide side of the field. Dane Evans under pressure, wanted to run. Instead, he checks it down to Don Jackson. Runs to his left, tries to cut it up the middle. Might have got to the 20-yard line, but that's not going to be enough for the first down. And they'll spot him at the 21. So Seth Small comes into the game for his first official CFL field goal attempt. He was 3 for 3 in the preseason, and they didn't make it easy for him. He hit from 39, 48, 51, and Seth Small steps up, and he's on the board in his CFL career. He hits the field goal, and the Tiger Cats continue to creep back in this game. It's now 10-4 Ottawa, leading the Tiger Cats. Second quarter here at Tim Hortons Field. We'll be back on the Ticats Audio Network. Redblacks on first down. It was a handoff to William Powell. He got 4 yards. So here's 2nd and 6 from their own 44. Caleb Evans slings it off to the left, and he can't connect with Shaq Johnson. It's incomplete, so a quick 2 and out for the Redblacks, and the Tiger Cats are getting this football back.
Yep, and they had a little bit of momentum starting to build in that last offensive drive that bridged the quarters there and got points at least, though they were stopped short of scoring. That has been another issue, is red zone efficiency and capitalizing on with touchdowns.
Shadows starting to get long on Tim Hortons Field as the sun begins to set over the west side of the stadium. 12.5 minutes to go, second quarter. Redblacks lead by 6. Richie Leone punt, caught by Lawrence Woods right at the far 20 on the field, and Redblack special teams had the angle on him, forces Woods out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Maybe some momentum for the Tiger Cats coming off a Seth Small field goal. They trail by 6. We'll be back with the Ticats offense on the field on the Ticats Audio Network. 12 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the opening half. Not a lot of scoring. 10-4. The Redblacks lead the Tiger Cats. Tiger Cats have had a couple of turnovers, but have minimized the damage. Dane Evans, starting on his own 34-yard line, pitches it, fakes the pitch, and then that opens up Tim White, who was running across the midfield line from right to left. It's complete. It's a big gain into Ottawa territory. And it's a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
That was well executed. Dane Evans with a traditional drop back, fakes the play action handoff, and there's just 3 receivers. You have a lot of time when you keep all those guys in protection there. Only 3 receivers running. You have a lot of time to set up those plays. And Tim White, like you said, from the far right side against Baltimore, came across the middle for an explosive, great play.
Matthew Schultz in at quarterback again, Luke. Braylon Addison on the sideline for the Tiger Cats. They're on the Ottawa 52. Schultz gets the snap, quickly throws off to the left. It's complete to Stephen Dunbar Jr., and he will be very close to a first down.
Interesting what we're going to see here. Like, you know, we got Dane and Matt Schultz both on the field, and now Matt Schultz, it seems like he's going to get a couple throws right after Dane hits the explosive play to Tim White. So, you know, this is clearly a purposeful game plan. It's not a result of anything. Not that Dane had played poorly this first quarter, right? I mean, this has been in the works for the whole bye week, like you said.
If you can confuse the radio guys, surely you're confusing the defense.
There you go.
2nd and 2 from the Ottawa 44-yard line. It's Matthew Schultz still at quarterback, and he slams the football down as the whistle goes.
Hamilton.
And a timeout was called by the Tiger Cats prior to that snap.
Yeah, they were setting up for another, you know, with a big body max protection personnel. They just had 3 wide receivers spread out, and Braylon Addison's taking the field now. So they maybe were called that timeout, not having quite the right group out there, but you know, it's interesting. We haven't seen so much of that this season, and they're starting to show a little bit of this. Hey, let's keep the box loaded. Let's get everyone we can in there to protect our quarterbacks and let our receivers work a little bit deeper downfield.
Matthew Schultz stays in at quarterback, so it's still 2nd and 2 from the Ottawa 44-yard line. Schultz will keep, and he runs a little bit to his right, gets across the 40-yard line, and the Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down thanks to the legs of Matthew Schultz.
Interesting dynamic of this quarterback group is Dane and Matt Schultz maybe have a pretty similar skill set. They're both pretty good on their feet. They can both run these sort of options, QB draws, and Schultz, and it looks like they're going to share some time and share the responsibility today.
And it's still Schultz as the Tiger Cats are into Ottawa territory. Play action. Schultz throws over the middle. It is complete to Tim White. And he's crossed the 20-yard line before he's brought down by Randall Evans. It's another first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Last week against Sask, Ottawa was able to get a handful of sacks, 5 in fact, and they have got one tonight, but we've seen Matt Schultz and Dane Evans have some time in the pocket and be comfortable back there, and it's clearly showing up in their efficiency in the pass game.
Schultz hands off to Don Jackson, runs along the line of scrimmage to the right. He breaks a couple of tackles, and it didn't look like there was much there for Don Jackson, but he broke those tackles and is close to a first down by the time it's all said and done.
Momentum is real, man. It's crazy. Don Jackson took that ball and spun and bounced and got hit and stayed alive for 4 seconds longer than you thought. That's the first downs that Ticats have not seen this year yet. It's been the opposite of that. Not 2nd and 2. It's been 2nd and 8 most of the time.
So true, and it's been something we've talked about. Fans want to see the running game. Coaches, players, they all want it going. Jackson has 5 carries for 19 yards. 2nd and 2. Matthew Schultz is going to keep it again. This time he runs to his left. He's across the 5, and he's brought down a couple of yards short of the end zone. But it is a first down for the Tiger Cats. They keep it rolling with an Active Green and Ross first down.
Going no huddle. Matt Schultz still on the field.
Very interesting. Schultz didn't start this drive. Dane Evans did, but ever since they've been in Ottawa territory, Schultz has been orchestrating things. First and goal from the Ottawa 2. Tiger Cats trying for their first touchdown of the game. Schultz will keep, runs straight ahead, and he's hit immediately.
Yeah, that's Lorenzo Malden.
Oh, yes.
One of my favorites, man. He was a great Ticat, great player, and 2 sacks a week ago in Sask. Just really stringing together some great play, and that was explosive right in the Hamilton offensive backfield.
And they're saying it was no gain. Lucky it wasn't a loss. Lorenzo Malden leading the Redblacks in sacks. That's a big play. Dane Evans back at quarterback. 2nd and goal for the Tiger Cats, trying to get points, have to capitalize. Red zone capitalization has not been successful for the Tiger Cats this season. And this time, the pass from Dane Evans is tipped and goes incomplete.
What do you think here? I think you stay on the field.
I would go for a touchdown.
They're doing it. There's Dane saying, if you miss this, and you can't throw a wide pick to either side of the field. That's the only catastrophic thing. But if you don't get this touchdown, they've got 107 yards to drive down the field. You're putting them in a tough spot. I like the move here. They're staying the offense on the field.
A lot learned from those first 4 games. Points are staring the Tiger Cats in the face. They had first and goal from the Ottawa 2. The pass, that's incomplete too. It was intended for Tim White. He's trying to say Randall Evans interfered with him, and no call.
It actually looked like the ball snuck through everything, like as if Randall Evans was maybe going to have an angle to break that up, and turns out it's one of those strange times when you're a receiver and you think the ball's going to get batted down, but it doesn't. That's when it looks silly. It'll go right through your hands because you were expecting to have to react, and I actually think that may have made it cleanly through Tim White's catchable radius. Unfortunately, no points there.
First and goal from the 2-yard line, and the Tiger Cats don't get anything. 10-4, Ottawa still leads the Tiger Cats. About half a quarter to go, just under 8 minutes to go in the opening half. This game is brought to you by Ticats Insurance, provided by my insurance broker. Visit ticatsinsurance.ca to get a quote on your home and auto insurance. I'm a bit surprised Tiger Cats couldn't punch that in from the 2 with 3 cracks at it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, that's that red zone efficiency that they've struggled at all season. Across the league, actually, there's less touchdowns in the red zone for some reason. And who's to say what that's a result of? But I still like the attempt. And if you keep on giving your offense a chance, they'll punch those in. But the Redblacks now, this is always interesting field position to me, because look at, they're in their huddle. Like, the goalpost is almost part of their huddle here.
Yeah.
And that can come into play. I had Jeremiah Mazzoli once throw me a pass that got batted down by our own goalpost back there. And the ball's dead if it touches that in a passing situation. But it's part of this play right here, at least, as they have the ball on their 3-yard line.
You're right.
Tighter hashes this year, too, so you're right there next to it.
Yes, yeah, they'll be right under the goalpost, basically. Redblacks in the huddle. They're past the uprights, about 5 yards deep in their own end zone. This ball spotted at the 3-yard line. That officially goes as the 3rd turnover of the opening half for the Tiger Cats. A couple of fumbles lost, and that was a turnover on downs. The defense waving their arms in the air to get the fans at Tim Hortons Field loud. This could be a big field position shift if the defense can come up big. Caleb Evans standing in his own end zone, and he's flushed out of the pocket. Rolls to his left, and there's some opening there. He's across the 10, the 15, and finally pushed out of bounds by Julian Hauser, who came all the way from his far defensive end position to force Caleb Evans out, but this will give them some breathing room from their own end zone.
Yeah, it was a true passing play, and as he spun out because of the pressure, all of those routes to Caleb Evans' left had drawn the defense away, and there was an enormous vacancy onto Caleb Evans' left side of his field.
Started on their own 3, now up to their own 17. Redblacks, fresh set of downs. The waggle begins. Caleb Evans hands off to William Powell. Tough to run against these Tiger Cats. Powell, the big bruising back, is stopped, and Ted Laurent in the middle of it.
That's a great stop, and if they can force this drive to end after this second down, the Ticats will have a chance to get this ball near center field with a reasonable return and get back to that offensive rhythm that they were finding. And this game is by no means being taken away by either team now. We have a good football game ahead of us.
Ottawa scored on their opening drive. It's a 10-4 lead for the Redblacks. 2nd and 10. Caleb Evans looking deep. Yep. It's intercepted. Alden Darby Jr. right at midfield with the interception. The defense does it again. 2nd pick of the game for the Tiger Cats.
You could see that coming from the moment he let that ball go. It was a really, really unique coverage. The Ticats showed sort of a blitz, maybe cover 0, and dropped people out, and Alden Darby, he started licking his chops the minute that was thrown because it was coming right to him, and he timed the jump perfect.
Huge interception by Alden Darby. That's brought to you by my insurance broker. It's 10-4, Redblacks lead. Tiger Cats get the ball back when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. Great to have you with us. RJ Broadhead with Luke Tasker. There's been 12 possessions combined between these two teams in the game. 5 turnovers. 2 0-4 teams looking for that first win, looking for confidence. That's a hard pass by Dane Evans. He had a lot of velocity on it, and it was caught beautifully by Sean Thomas Erlington. And he will have just enough for the first down, presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Yeah, that was an excellent job there. Sean Thomas Erlington, you'll see him out here on special teams tonight. Don Jackson's getting a lot of the carries, but that time STE gets the ball and lowers his shoulder to get the first down.
12-yard gain. Hamilton onto the Ottawa 42-yard line. Play action this time to Sean Thomas Erlington. Dane Evans rolls to his right, throws to his left, and wide open. Felix Gauthier, and he takes it inside the 5-yard line. Again, not expected. Felix Gauthier hasn't been used a lot, and the fullback comes up with a big play. 39 yards for the Tiger Cats, and they keep it rolling with an Active Green and Ross first down.
That was awesome. Dane Evans sets up and rolls to his right, and Felix Gauthier, who set up as sort of a tight end position on the right side, sets his feet for that in that pass blocking situation and then sneaks through the defensive secondary as they're floating to the offensive. I mean, just beautifully done, and to the unlikely guy on the field, right?
Yes, exactly.
Number 38. You're not covering him deep down the field, right?
Not predictable so far. Matthew Schultz in at quarterback, tries to go straight ahead, keeps it himself, and he will get maybe a yard, but he's short of the end zone. Tiger Cats had 3 cracks from the Ottawa 2-yard line not too long ago and didn't get any points. Turned it over on downs.
Reasonably, this could be. They could be driving in there to turn this to a 19-10 game in their favor, and they've got to convert some of these short plays after they're getting these huge explosives down the field. I mean, really, their offense has really been more impressive after that first drive of Ottawa's tonight.
Schultz under center. Ball's on the Ottawa 2. Runs a little bit to his left, and touchdown, Tiger Cats! Matthew Schultz runs it in from 2 yards out, and the first touchdown of the game for the Tiger Cats ties the game with the convert upcoming.
Awesome. That's what they needed, and they kind of went away from that shotgun kind of style outside runs, and it got back to just your classic CFL short yardage gain, and Matt Schultz converting that, and with this extra point, they'll take the lead for the first time.
That 2-yard run for the touchdown by Matthew Schultz was driven by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Seth Small, he's the kicker for the Tiger Cats today. He's already hit a field goal, now trying for his first convert. In preseason, he wore number 40, now wearing number 47 for the Tiger Cats, and Seth Small has been flawless. He hit his field goal, hits the convert, and after a bit of a rough start for the Tiger Cats, it's gone pretty well in the second quarter. They lead for the first time in the game, not by much, but it's a lead, 11-10.
Yeah, and what's changed? The turnovers. You know, you started off this game with, offensively, I should say, with an unbelievable pass down the field that then, of course, the ball gets jarred out. And then you have another turnover forced on special teams. And since they've stopped the bleeding there, and of course, there's not been much game that's progressed since that time, but they haven't turned the ball over then, and they've moved down the field. They've kept drives alive. They've taken back the momentum after a few explosives here and there from Ottawa, and boy, it's kind of progressing, and they're kind of trending in the right way since those early drives this game.
How fun would those offensive meetings have been during the bye week for the Tiger Cats?
With all the trickery.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved drawing up the crazy plays. I don't know. Tommy never really put them in the playbook for some reason. But
they're in today.
Yeah.
Michael Domagala kicks off. And Terry Williams pushed back to his own 4-yard line, but plenty of green ahead of him. And he'll get up past the 20 before he is tackled and brought down. Tyler Turnowski, who's starting at wide receiver for the Tiger Cats, chipping in on special teams with a big tackle.
Yeah, young guy, and sometimes you got to do double duty, and that's hard. That's a lot of running in a night when you're covering kicks and punts and running routes, and great for that young Canadian who finds himself starting today to go down there and get a tackle, and a great field position for the Ticat defense here. Wind a little bit going off the lake towards the mountain, and Domagala's kick was beautifully placed there outside the numbers. Oh, back at the 5-yard line of Ottawa. Caleb
Evans, lots of motion. It ends up being a handoff to William Powell. Gets to the line, and then he scrambled trying to find some kind of opening, and there was nothing there. Micah Johnson, he put up a wall, and that was it. Might have been a loss. Certainly not much there for William Powell. They're going to call it no gain, so the Tiger Cats' run defense rock solid again. 2nd and 10, Ottawa on their own 24-yard line. We're getting close to the 3-minute warning before halftime. Caleb Evans drops back. Here comes the pressure. Stays in the pocket. Now rolls to his left. Throws on the run and completes the pass. That's Jalen Acklin. He has been busy in this opening half for Ottawa. He is short of the first down, though.
This will be interesting. They're getting their punt team ready, but it looks like it might be just about a yard wherever they spot this football. 2nd and just about a yard. Now it's a little long, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be a bit risky.
Yeah, on their own 33-yard line, yes, it would be.
Yeah, the short yardage for the Tiger Cats defense has been really good this year. They've forced a lot of teams to turn it over on downs. So Richie Leone comes in, and Randall Evans was very late coming into the play. A flag does fly eventually.
Okay.
Lawrence Woods catches it on his 30 and takes a burst of speed, but he's stopped right at the 40, so a 10-yard return. But that has to be offside on the Redblacks. So they'll take a look at that, as Evans was short to get into position before that ball was snapped. Tiger Cats will have the ball. 2:33 to go in the opening half, and the Tiger Cats finally lead 11-10. We'll be back on the Ticats Audio Network. Be sure to email us at gameday@ticats.ca. You could win a pair of tickets for the next Ticats home game. Tell us where you're listening from at gameday@ticats.ca.
That penalty's declined.
Like to say hello to Dana in Yorkshire, England. Fantastic to have you listening to Ticats football in England. Donna Helen, Sauble Beach, Mike Hodges in Victoria, BC, and Peter Boyle from Ottawa. Tiger Cats are playing Ottawa, but a shout out to you. He wanted to congratulate you, Luke, on being the alumnus of distinction.
Hey, thanks, Peter. Glad you're listening in Ottawa too. That's kind of neat. We're all over the globe, Ticats Audio Network. I love it.
It's fantastic. So the Tiger Cats, after a really slow start, they didn't have a first down until late in the opening quarter. They're over 200 yards passing. Dane Evans has 173 yards. Looks pretty good here. He's scrambled and tosses it sidearmed over to Don Jansen, who runs off to the right, and he'll get up to the 45-yard line, be about 5 yards short of the first down.
Yeah, good gain. Boy, the Ticats, they're last in the league on their first down efficiency. It's just been really, really tough, and they've had so many second and longs in the first 4 games of the season, and it is noticeably better tonight. They're giving themselves a much better chance on second down to keep drives going.
At least in the second quarter, and it's been better. It was a bit of a slow start, but things seem to be on track. 2 minutes to go, opening half. Tiger Cats lead by 1. Dane Evans, lots of time, looking deep, and Stephen Dunbar Jr., did he make that catch?
No
He
way.
has the football. Massive play. He was down at the 30. The flags flew, but he still made that catch. Unbelievable.
I cannot believe that he pulled that ball in. I got to take a second look at this.
Penalty is declined.
It's pass interference on Ottawa that's going to be declined. Oh, my goodness.
One-handed.
I mean, when Dane let the ball go, I thought, this is going to be a big collision or something here. And it was one of the most spectacular one-handed catches while getting hit prior to the ball getting there for the pass interference. Just unbelievable catch.
They just played it on the big screen here at Tim Hortons Field in the north end, and the crowd reacted at that one-handed grab. Stephen Dunbar works at it, and it pays off. That's why he works so hard. That was Braylon Addison gets a gain of a few. He got the handoff.
Yeah, there you go. Back to that wide receiver run game. You've always talked about Stephen Dunbar Jr.'s ability to focus and work and practice those things, and that was one of the catches of the year. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're going to see that one, and probably Stephen Dunbar would have been surprised if he didn't make the catch. Works on that all the time. Another quarterback keeper. This time it's Dane Evans. Runs up the middle. There's an opening there, and he's got the first down. Presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Man, those explosive plays and what they do for the momentum of a team and also the energy of a drive, it's disheartening for that defense they also drew the pass interference on that play. Had that ball been dropped, the Ticats would still be well down the field there, and he just pulls it in and great chance to put a touchdown on the board.
Minute to go, opening half. Dane Evans looking to the right, nobody open, back pedals a little bit, throws to the end zone. Welcome to the Tiger Cats. Anthony Johnson, touchdown. The Tiger Cats, they're rolling right now.
Just awesome. Dane Evans started with his eyes to the right and watched a cluster formation of 3 of his guys develop, nothing there, and he escaped back to his left. So patient, so patient. He scanned all the way across the field, kept his feet settled, and Anthony Johnson made his way bending from the right side of the field all the way to the back end zone at the left. Beautifully thrown ball, and boy, that just right? It's rhythm, it's momentum, and it's rhythm, and all things firing right now for the Ticat offense in the second quarter.
Back-to-back drives that end in touchdowns. And now the Tiger Cats are up 17-10. Seth Small on for the 32-yard convert attempt. Matt Schultz the holder. The kick is up. And Seth Small hits it. The Tiger Cats extend their lead to 18-10. Dane Evans passed to Anthony Johnson for the touchdown. That touchdown drive was driven by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Hamilton's first 3 drives, Luke, they didn't have a first down. Last 4 drives, 13 first downs and back-to-back drives that culminate in a touchdown.
Yep. And the drive before that, they had a chance right at the goal line that could have been easily been a touchdown, and or could have easily turned it into a field goal, and they chose to give it a shot. Didn't work, but that's 3 impressive drives in a row, and the second quarter has just been dynamite. Even that first quarter, RJ, it still goes back to what we've said throughout the season, that the turnovers aren't just blatant errors there. It was a great tackle by an Ottawa defender to get that ball popped loose, and it was after an explosive offensive play by the Ticats. So we're really seeing maybe one of the best Ticats performances of the years offensively.
For sure. Again, after a slow start, took a while to implement the new plays, but it's going okay now. Terry Williams takes it at his own 15-yard line and runs up to the 40, just inside the numbers, and the Tiger Cats special teams don't let him get past the 40-yard line. There's 43 seconds to go in the half, Luke, and Tiger Cats have come back. 18-10, they lead the Redblacks.
You know, I wonder if they're feeling a little bit of energy for what you just said, having come back, because so often you look at the scores total for the first quarters, second quarter, throughout the season.
Yes.
It's telling a story, but in this game, they're the ones to have come back from being in a deficit early on.
Caleb Evans from his own 40 throws short pass. It's complete. And looks like it was R.J. Harris with the catch, or it's actually Shaq Johnson. Only be a gain of a couple. To me, Luke, the turning point was when the Redblacks were up 7-0. Lawrence Woods fumbled, and the Redblacks took over on the Hamilton 34-yard line. Looked like they were going to get more points. They missed a field goal. They got nothing out of that. That could have really made it difficult for the Tiger Cats to come back.
Great tackle there by Cam Kelly. That was a dangerous position. The Ottawa Redblacks took everybody deep. And Cam Kelly, Sam linebacker, finds himself one-on-one with Jalen Acklin. And if he doesn't make that tackle, that would be an explosive pass play, which in my mind is over 20 yards. And great job bringing him down for short of the first down.
Nate Bahar made the catch. He's very close to a first down. Be inches short on the 49-yard line. Coming up at the half, the caretaker, Bob Young, will join Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantus. And going straight ahead for the short yardage. Looks like the Redblacks got it. Caleb Evans didn't have to get much, and yes, they are moving the sticks. There's only 18 seconds to go in the half, though. And the Redblacks are a little bit shy of midfield. Empty backfield for Caleb Evans. In for the injured Jeremiah Masoli. That pass is complete. Again, maybe just a little bit short of midfield. Gain of 3 yards.
Lewis Ward, the field goal kicker, very accurate, very good veteran kicker, but he's into the wind, and they still have some work to do to get into range.
And might not be time. 7 seconds, 6. Caleb Evans a pass, and he bounces it, so it's incomplete. There are 3 seconds remaining in the half. Are they going to try a really long field goal? And I think they might be, Luke.
I mean, this would be 50.
Nope. I think it's Richie Leone coming on.
He may take this snap and just bounce around a little bit, because there's no sense really in giving a returner a chance at this with 3 seconds left.
Yeah.
So I bet we're gonna see something a little bit different than just a classic punt.
Okay.
They may try to have him get a single. So we'll see if he tries to, but that would be a long punt. That'd be a pretty long kick.
It would, but it would make it a 7-point game, so there is some logic in that. Richie Leone.
That's not going to do it.
No, it's a decent kick, but it won't get to the end zone. Braylon Addison at his own 10, breaks a tackle, gets to the 20, breaks another tackle, up to the 30.
Wow.
And finally, the Redblacks bring Braylon Addison down, and that is the end of the half. It was a game that started off poorly, to say the least, for the Tiger Cats. Couple of turnovers, dug a bit of a hole. But now they lead 18-10. Everything seems to be going just fine.
They're playing good. That was an interesting decision there to punt that ball because Braylon Addison, not the return man for the Ticats. He was looking to break that one loose and almost did. This is a great game and a great chance for the Ticats to come out and have the best second half of the season after having a really impressive second quarter. You listen to Coach O this week in our content on the Ticats Audio Network. His defense has kept us in games, he says, throughout the season, and so has Ottawa. Ottawa's defense has been the one keeping them around, and so we're going to see who's going to outdo each other in the second half here, but the Ticats really changed it around after that really poor first drive of this game.
Should be a smile on the caretaker's face, Bob Young, when he joins Andy and Bubba during halftime, as the Tiger Cats have an 18-10 lead at the half. With Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantuz is next on the Ticats Audio Network.
The Ticats Audio Network.
Welcome back to Tim Hortons Field. Second half just underway. Terry Williams, off the kickoff. He's got a big return here. Back just in time to watch the tail end of it. Takes it back to midfield, and then the TELUS digital ribbon on that far sideline. He had to hurdle over it.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Hamilton, number 38. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Wow, that is exactly how the Redblacks wanted to start this half off. They had a great explosive kick return back to center field and tack on 15. And it was Felix Grand-Gouchier who, I'm looking at it again. It was a little amplified, I think, how violently he went out of bounds, but still a little bit too late. You just never can touch somebody once their foot's on the white. It's a 40-yard return and a 15-yard penalty is so costly.
So all of a sudden, the Redblacks are in pretty good shape, trailing the Tiger Cats 18-10. Caleb Evans tries the quarterback keeper, and he'll get just across the 40-yard line for a couple of yards gain.
Great tackle by Micah Johnson. Boy, that is a great field position start here for Ottawa, who's going to have field goal position even if they get stopped short of moving the chains here.
2nd and 8 on the Hamilton 38-yard line. The shadows almost engulfing the whole field on a beautiful evening in Hamilton. Caleb Evans is going to keep again. He's going to get the first down. Cuts back to the middle. He's across the 25-yard line, just shy of the 20, and he's earned the Redblacks a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, a little man coverage there from the Ticats. They brought a great rush, and whenever you do that, if the quarterback is able to get out of the pocket, there's not many people left in that defensive lower secondary, and that turned into a nice little run there for Caleb Evans.
Jovan Santos Knox, the Ticats leader in tackles, brought down Caleb Evans. Play action, and on the run, Nate Bahar runs into Alden Darby Jr. Tunde Adeleke helps out, but it's another first down here for the Redblacks, and they're down to the Hamilton 5-yard line.
You know, that was 4 receivers to Caleb Evans' right, and when that closest receiver is able to get so much room on a slant, it's such a short ball time. That's so easy. You got to take away that short, immediate slant to that nearest receiver, especially as you get close to the goal line.
Redblacks have 1 touchdown in the game. Came on their opening drive. Jalen Anklin got it. Here's a handoff to William Powell going up the middle, and he's short of the goal line, so he does not take that into the end zone. Short yardage again on the run. The Tiger Cats defense has been rock solid. Ball now spotted on the 1-yard line. Opening possession of the second half. Tiger Cats, they have an 8-point lead. Second halves are something the Tiger Cats want to rectify. They want to be able to close. Caleb Evans under center, keeps it, and he didn't get it. There is a signal from the official. It is a touchdown, and not by much. It looked like the Tiger Cats might have stopped Caleb Evans. He did not, And he got to the end zone, and all of a sudden, the game has tightened up early in the second half. It's 18-16 with a convert coming up.
Short yardage. Caleb Evans actually reached the ball out over top of that line, over top of the mass of bodies in there, which is kind of the number one no-no to not do. We've seen Dane Evans get stripped from a short yardage situation this year, but he did get the touchdown by reaching the ball across. First drive of the game and first drive of the second half are the touchdowns for Ottawa.
Wasn't sure if Ottawa would try for 2 to tie the game. They won't. They'll go for 1. Lewis Ward steps up and kicks the convert. So it is a 1-point lead. Tiger Cats still ahead. It's 18-17. Tiger Cats will get their first possession of the second half when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network.
Hi, this is Dane Evans from the Hamilton Ticats. Now back to Luke and RJ.
On the Ticats Audio Network.
Appreciate it, Dane. Good opening half for Dane Evans. 229 yards passing. Last 3 games, he had 237 yards against Winnipeg, 197 against Edmonton, and 229.5 against Ottawa. So he is en route to some pretty big numbers this evening. If he can continue in the second half, what he did certainly late in that opening half, second quarter. Slow start for the Tiger Cats. They fell behind 10-0. Took an 18-10 lead at the half, and now it's just a 1-point lead as Ottawa scored a touchdown on their opening drive of the game and their opening drive of the second half. Lawrence Woods takes the kickoff, gets across the 30, runs to the outside of the numbers across the 35, and he's brought down by that near far sideline, rather, at about the 36-yard line of the Tiger Cats.
Nick Cross, special teams ace for the Ticats, is not going to return to this game. He suffered an injury in the first half, and in the 2 special teams plays we've seen, that was a great return by Ottawa and a not that great return by Hamilton. And guys like Nick Cross are the type of player that makes the difference on those special teams play, and Hamilton has a bit of a longer field to drive than did Ottawa.
4 receivers go off to the wide side of the field. Dane Evans left, but he's under pressure. Had to scramble, avoided a couple of tackles, dumps it off to Don Jackson, who gets the first down and a lot more. He'll be up by midfield as the first down is presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Dane showing a lot of patience and the ability to stay put and find his guy and not force anything down the field for a great first down to Don Jackson.
The whistle goes. There's an Ottawa Redblack on a knee. And it might be more of a shoe issue. Interesting how the field is now with the sun setting. It's just Stephen Dunbar on the far side of the field, the only Tiger Cat in the sunshine. How difficult is that with the sun shining and you're catching a ball out of the shade?
So right now, it's almost 7 p.m. here in Hamilton, and so normally this is kind of we're getting ready for kickoff, right? At a more standard game start time, and that last corner that they're driving at is always the last lingering area of sunshine, and it was on my mind as a player. If you get a deep ball there, you got to be ready for that.
They actually switched it after that injury to Lorenzo Malden, who was able to get off the field under his own power. Tyler Ternowski went to the sunny side. This is a pass complete to Braylon Addison, and he's being used a lot more in this game. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an Active Green and Ross first down. Past 2 games, Braylon Addison had 7 yards receiving and then 27 yards receiving. He needs to be used more than that, doesn't he?
Absolutely. And you see, he just got the ball in his hands down low, and he's just so dangerous when he turns upfield. He's creative and quick, hard to bring down. He's got strength and speed, and that combination is just great for yards after the catch.
Tiger Cats moving the football up to the 45-yard line. Don Jackson, he was running to his right, did a 360 and then runs to his left and gets down to the 35-yard line, very close to a first down, but there is a flag.
Hamilton number 57, 10-yard penalty, Pete first down.
Brandon Revenberg, the rare holding penalty there, and the Ticats, there's been all sorts of different things we've seen tonight on offense, from what you maybe would call trick plays, and we've seen 2 quarterbacks in the game and multiple quarterbacks coming in and out, and also their offensive line has been bouncing around everywhere. I mean, they've really they're trying to just change some things up and give themselves a chance to succeed and to good results so far.
Definitely. 1st and 20, right at midfield. Dane Evans, couple of steps back, hits Tim White on the slant, runs across to the far side of the field and did a lot of lateral running. He'll eat into some of that penalty yardage that the Tiger Cats took, but still a little bit short of the original line of scrimmage.
There's a lot of talking out there. The Hamilton receiving core in the secondary for the Ottawa Redblacks taking a long time to get back to their positions.
Tiger Cats up to the Ottawa 49-yard line, 2nd and 14. So again, 2nd and very long here for the Tiger Cats. Dane Evans changing the play, calling the audible. 4 receivers off to his left. Couple of steps back, wants to throw left, can't. Now he runs to his right. On the run, makes the throw, but it's incomplete. Sean Thomas Erlington hit just as that ball got to him. It was a good defensive play by Adam Auclair, second-year player out of Laval.
Yeah, pretty good coverage by the Ottawa Redblacks and to end that drive, but really it came down to that penalty. It's, just so costly to all of a sudden be 1st and 20 like it turned into there, and chance for Domagala to pin the Ottawa Redblacks deep.
That ends a streak of 8 straight completions for Dane Evans. Just good timing on the defensive play by Auclair because the pass was there to Sean Thomas Erlington. Michael Domagala kicks that football right into the sun, and Terry Williams picks it up, but it looks like the Tiger Cats were inside the 5 yards.
Hamilton 37, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
So that will be the no yards penalty against the Tiger Cats. We'll take a break. There's 9 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, and the Tiger Cats lead by a point. This is the Ticats Audio Network. So at the game, want to say hi to Richard Dentiger in Section 214, Mary Southern in Section 102, and of course, the Box J boys. They're in Box J.
Oh, yeah. Great, legendary fan group for the Ticats, and I was always loved when I got a chance to speak with the Box J boys, and it's actually interesting. The families kind of sit near the Box J boys, so I kind of always was looking up there. They're a really, really awesome part of the Tim Hortons Field experience.
Well, great to have them at the game, and it's a close game. 18-17, Tiger Cats lead. 9 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Caleb Evans, he's wrapped up and brought down, the quarterback sack by Julian Hauser. He's been in Caleb Evans' face all game long.
Awesome. At a really needed time, the Ticats have kind of, it's been a bumpy couple last minutes of this game, and penalties have been really kind of killing them into this 3rd quarter here. They've got 6 for 55 yards against them, Hamilton, whereas Ottawa only has 3 penalties for 0 yards, actually. A lot of penalties been declined or just, not impactful on the game.
Julian Hauser, 4 tackles, 2 sacks in the game. 2nd and 13, Caleb Evans throwing off to the left, and the intended receiver was Jalen Anklin, and the pass wasn't close. It's incomplete. And the field position battle, you talk about it all the time. The Tiger Cats should end up in a pretty good spot here, Luke.
Yep, here we go. They got a chance to take some of this field back, and that was all Jamal Roll right there. That was a deep curl route by Jalen Anklin down the left side for Ottawa offense, and Jamal Roll in perfect coverage right attached to his hip there.
Jalen Anklin earlier in the game had a huge catch, and it was on Jamal Roll. That's why he's a professional. That's why he's so good at what he does. Yep. There was no way he's going to allow another big gain to Jalen Anklin. Low kick by Richie Leone, but it's pretty effective. This will bounce down to the 25-yard line. Lawrence Woods calmly waits for it, runs right along the near sideline, but can't get up to the 40. He'll be just past the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that was an incredibly low kick. It almost had the ball flight of a long throw, and you wish you take better advantage of that punt that has no hang time, but Lawrence Woods wasn't really able to field it cleanly, and it caught a high bounce and not that productive of a return for a drive start on the 36.
55-yard punt from Richie Leone and an 11-yard return from Lawrence Woods. Almost halfway through the 3rd quarter. Tiger Cats clinging to that 1-point lead. Dane Evans takes the snap, hands it off. Don Jackson dances his way up the middle for a pretty solid gain. Looks like about 6 or 7.
Yeah, very solid gain, and that was that was maybe one of the best just straightforward runs and a push by that offensive line. I mean, the whole front of the red and white uniforms got pushed back an easy 5 yards. Great run there.
Handoff again to Don Jackson, and this one won't be quite as productive. Needed 5 yards for the first down, did not get it. Got about 1.5 yards.
Everybody's standing around waiting to see where this gets set, and they're going to bring the punt team out. It's a long, maybe 2nd and 2, or 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Damagala, yeah, not a great usage of that field position, right? I mean, they weren't really able to convert anything. They're kind of stuck back in this lull of punting back and forth to each other now.
Trying to establish that run game really for the first time this season. Redblacks defense comes up big, stops Don Jackson on those 2 runs. Michael Damagala, this is a low kick as well. Terry Williams catches it on his 25. He's up to the 35 and to the 38-yard line before the Tiger Cats able to bring him down. Long snapper Gordon White, who's had a good season on special teams, makes the tackle. 6:22 to go in the 3rd quarter. Tiger Cats are leading the Redblacks 18-17 in the battle of 0-4 teams. One of them's going to get a win. We'll be back. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. Back at Tim Hortons Field, you're with RJ Broadhead and Luke Tasker. The field now all in shadows. Beautiful evening in Hamilton. It is close game. 18-17 Tiger Cats lead. William Powell, he ran a long ways, probably about 32 yards laterally to turn into a gain of about 2 yards.
The whole second half has really been established and feeding off of that initial return and the 15-yard penalty by the Redblacks. They started this quarter off with their offense on the 35-yard line or so of Hamilton, and Hamilton has not really been able to steal any momentum or have any big plays since that time.
Caleb Evans at quarterback. Redblacks on their own 40-yard line. 2nd and 8, and almost picked off by Jamal Roll. He was all over that pass to Jalen Acklin. And we talked about it. Roll is a competitor, and this time he almost got payback with the pick.
He was, and that's actually the setup for the double move that Jalen Acklin had an enormous play in the first half, and that was the slant and go. This time Jalen ran the slant, and boy, Jamal Roll's right there, so close to an interception.
Not an interception, but a knockdown for Jamal Roll. Richie Leone on his own 30-yard line, another low punt. This will drift back to Braylon Addison. He's inside his own 20, trying to spin away, but he does not get very much, maybe a yard on that return. Tiger Cats offense coming back on the field. They have a slim 1-point lead, 18-17 on the Redblacks. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network.
This week on the Ticats Audio Network.
We saw back in our day, if one of our guys just hurt a player and was walking off in Ivor Wynn, flexing in front of our bench, he'd get a beating.
Well, that's Mike Moriali on how Garrett Marino would have been treated after the hit to Jeremiah Masoli when he and Rob Hitchcock wore a CFL uniform. Calvin Tiggle was their guest this week. See who they have next Wednesday. It's Moriali and Hitch on the Ticats Audio Network. The old school stories from Moriali and Hitch.
You know what's great though? They'll tell a little bit about the Angelo Mosca days too, which was the old school,
yes.
Right? And kind of the generations of football and sort of uphill both ways to school type of thing, right?
Yeah.
It's always better in the old days.
That's right. Tiger Cats starting from their own 21-yard line. Dane Evans, plenty of time, throws to his left, and there's Stephen Dunbar Jr. jumping up to make the catch. He was able to use both hands this time. Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down.
We had such a great perspective on that throw because it was kind of coming right at us, and Dane Evans threw that ball in what looked like just terrible position. But he knew that cornerback's back is to him, and he can't make a play on the ball because he can't see it. Whereas Dunbar was able to turn back and come out of it. Just unbelievable professional, ability there.
Dane Evans is going to keep it this time, and he's tackled pretty much immediately. He'll get, just with his forward momentum, maybe a yard. Nope, they're saying he lost a yard.
Boy, tough. Got to capitalize on those enormous first downs there. And the first half was probably the most impressive first down efficiency that we've seen from the Ticats. And this 2nd and 11, it's just you can't do it repeatedly throughout and put together scoring drives.
So 2nd and long, Dane Evans on the run. Antoine Pruneau right on his heels. He had to get rid of the football. It goes incomplete. And the Tiger Cats, with that slim 1-point lead, just over 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, are going to punt the football back to the Redblacks.
So Domagala's out. He's got a 41.3 net punting average tonight. But Leone's got 51 yards of net punting. And they've just, that field position battle is just, they're getting an extra first down for their team each time they're punting the ball. And Hamilton has to capitalize on some of that as well.
Leone came into this week leading the CFL in net punting average. Michael Domagala from his own 20. Couple of steps up as he kicks this football. Williams drifts back a little bit, and he's spun around. Again, great special teams coverage by the Tiger Cats. Got up close to the 35-yard line. That's where the Redblacks will begin this drive.
Pretty good coverage there, and Domagala, not a booming kick, but able to let his coverage team get down there, stay out of that 5-yard halo, and then make a pretty quick tackle.
Ottawa scored on their opening drive of the football game. They took a 10-0 lead. Tiger Cats turned the ball over a couple of times in the opening quarter. But it was Hamilton with an 18-10 lead at the half. Then Ottawa scored on their opening possession of the second half, and it's a 1-point lead. Caleb Evans, a couple of fake pitches, and he's had to backpedal way back into his own end, but finally just throws the football away, incomplete.
I kind of got my eyes on Jalen Ackland right now, who had an unbelievable first quarter, really, really impressive, including a touchdown and 3 or 4 deep pass plays. But Jamal Roll's been in coverage on him for most of the night, that boundary corner position, and I especially in this third quarter, right there, Jamal Roll is just glued to Ackland and just really, really tight coverage. And here they are again, face to face.
2nd and 10, ball on the Ottawa 37. Caleb Evans, he will throw short. It's complete and might be enough for the first down to R.J. Harris. We'll see where they spot the football. Looks like it's going to be just short, Luke. And
yeah, it's a full yard.
Okay.
It's a little more than a full yard.
So the punt team was very slow to come on the field. But Richie Leone is coming on now for the Redblacks. So the defenses, ever since that first possession for Ottawa in the second half, have been the story.
Yeah.
Seen a lot of punting.
We have, and if he gets his 51-yard net right here,
yeah,
he's going to pin the Ticats deep into their own end. But Lawrence Woods back there with a chance to flip things around.
Leone, here's the kick. It'll drift off to Lawrence Woods' right. It's between the numbers and the sideline. Breaks one tackle, gets across the 20, and he's brought down there. So good coverage by the Redblacks.
Yeah, still a 45-yard net there, and the Ticats back on around their 20, 21-yard line to start this off, and just a quiet third quarter, right? And just not quite the rhythm that they've seen, but the key, they haven't had any catastrophic mistakes, right? They haven't had the turnovers in the second half that have really, in the first part of the season, the games have started to go downhill and downhill very quickly because the turnovers have mounted in the second half. They have 3 possessions, 3 punts, and 57 total yards, but 0 turnovers. So
yes, that's the key. Well, second halves have been a concern, in particular the fourth quarter. Here's a handoff to Don Jackson, who works for every inch and yard that he was able to manage, and it wasn't a lot. 4, maybe 5, depending on the spot. Minute 30 to go in the third quarter. So they gave Don Jackson 4 yards on that carry. So 2nd and 6 here for the Tiger Cats from their own 25-yard line. 1 point lead for Hamilton. Dane Evans, 3 receivers to the boundary side. Here's the snap. Dane Evans steps back, looks to his left, and he's going to throw that direction. Looks like pretty tight coverage for Stephen Dunbar, who got spun around, was falling, and still made a tremendous effort to try to catch that football, but he could not, and it goes incomplete, and the Tiger Cats are punting again.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty well-placed ball. He was going to give him a chance to make that play without risking, a 50-50 ball or an interception. He was putting it where only he could get it. And unfortunately, just a little bit outside of the radius there for Stephen Dunbar Jr.
Despite the adjustment by Dunbar, he did get his hands on it and almost made that catch. He's had a spectacular one-handed grab in this game already. Under a minute to go, third quarter, Michael Damagala standing in his own 15-yard line to punt the football. Terry Williams catches it at his own 45, backpedals a little bit, and that's where he's caught by the Tiger Cats. Bailey Feltmate is there, and that's about as good as you could expect with that coverage team after the punt in the field position game.
Yep, and still that the field position is creeping in favor of Ottawa. This is just about where they punted the ball away 2 minutes ago, and now they're getting it right back there again, with no loss except for the time on the clock. And here their offense goes again with a shorter and shorter field, it seems, each time they get the ball.
Lawrence Woods also in on that tackle. He's the returner and plays special teams. Caleb Evans, a fake pitch, and then he tries to run it up the middle and gets his feet tied up by Malik Carney, then his upper body bent over. He's up and he's okay, but not much there. A couple of yards.
Yeah, that was Dylan Wynn. When you talk about what happened with the upper body there, Dylan Wynn just bent Caleb Evans right backwards.
That's why you stretch. Final play of the third quarter. 18-17, Tiger Cats lead by a point. Another close game at Tim Hortons Field, and that was bounced. So it's incomplete. It bounced before it got to Darvin Adams, who's been quiet in this game. And here we go, fourth quarter for the Tiger Cats. It's a close football game. Both these teams 0-4, both of them desperate for a victory. And it is just 1 point separating the two with a quarter to play. We'll be back with the fourth quarter at Tim Hortons Field on the Ticats Audio Network. Fourth quarter, almost set to go. Tiger Cats lead the Redblacks by 1 point. This game is brought to you by Ticats Insurance, provided by my insurance broker. Visit ticatsinsurance.ca to get a quote on your home and auto insurance. Well, just like we figured, Luke, 2 0-4 teams, a win on the line. We knew it wouldn't be a blowout. Nothing would be easy. Close game, a quarter to decide this one. Tiger Cats are going to get the ball back. Richie Leone on the field, and the punt, pretty good one. Lawrence Woods creeps up a little bit, and he won't get a ton on the return. Caught it at the 15, got just across the 20-yard line to the 22, maybe 23-yard line.
They've just got a great coverage team. Ottawa has a really strong special teams unit in general, and that was the 14th punt of the game tonight. And Richie Leone really drives the punts straight, and that's why that net punting is so telling. It's both the punter and his coverage unit, and they're doing a great job. The Ticats again are starting behind their own 25-yard line, but time to get a little rhythm back that we saw in the second quarter.
Ottawa scored on their opening drive of the second half. Other than that, there were 7 straight punts between these two teams combined. Not much going offensively. Play action here for Dane Evans. Then he completes it to Tim Young, and as soon as he caught the football, he was tackled by Randall Evans, and it'll be a loss or certainly no gain here for the Tiger Cats on that play.
Again with the 2nd and 11. The one good stat line there, like we talked about, is that there's no turnovers. And in this first 4 games of the season, they've turned the ball over 13 times in the second half of their games.
Yes.
It's a stat that they're fixing currently and are perfect since the start of this second half.
Second and long, second and 10. Is that Stephen Dunbar? No, it's Braylon Addison this time, who makes a wonderful catch. Addison had to reach way out to haul in that pass, and it is a first down. Presented by Active Green and Ross, the Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Unbelievable curl route, actually tight coverage by Texada and just Braylon Addison, unbelievable hands.
11-yard gain. Dane Evans trying to get this offense going. He's under pressure, and he's caught. He is sacked again. And that's Davon Coleman with the sack for the Redblacks. And this will march the Tiger Cats back inside their own 30.
It's that back and forth. And in the first half, the Ticats really had a really nice protection for Dane. It was a lot of time, and for the plays where Matt Schultz was in there, really able to get the ball out of their hands. But again, explosive play to Braylon Addison, backed up with a sack.
Ottawa's fourth sack tonight. 2nd and 15. Tiger Cats on their own 29. Dane Evans trying to make something happen here. He's got some time. Stays in the pocket. Looks off to his right. Don Jackson had activated over there. And now he's trying to get to the first down, but he can't do it. Ottawa's defense able to gather around and bring Don Jackson down. And it's a bit of a theme here for the Tiger Cats in the second half. Another drive that culminates in a punt.
Yep, and got some valuable yards back there, but that 2nd and 16, you just can't find yourself in that position repeatedly, and they are right now.
Michael Domagala's first game of the season as the punter for the Tiger Cats. Seth Small is their kicker. He's hit a field goal, a couple of converts. And looks like Ottawa, little miscommunication. There was a player late coming on the field, but he was able to get on in time. This is a good kick by Michael Domagala, sending Terry Williams back. He was at his own 20, had to drop back to the 15, got back to the 20-yard line, and Tyler Turnowski, the wide receiver, is there with another big special teams tackle.
Great tackle.
11 minutes and 31 seconds to go in the game. And the Tiger Cats lead the Redblacks 18-17. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Braylon Addison with a big catch on that last Tiger Cats drive. You're with RJ Broadhead and Luke Tasker. 11 and a half minutes to go in the game. Redblacks and Tiger Cats, both at 0-4. Not much time to go to figure out who's going to get that elusive victory. A lot of black and gold on the stands at Tim Hortons Field. Everybody wearing their Tiger Cats gear. It's loud. They want to see a victory for the Tiger Cats, and they're cheering for the defense. Caleb Evans in at quarterback, gets the snap, throws quickly, completes to R.J. Harris, and he'll be up across the 40-yard line for a Redblacks first down.
Ticats bringing a little bit of pressure there, and man, and that quarterback can recognize that and see the vacancy, that's just too easy. That was a 6-yard hitch and then a 6-yard gain for just a nice, simple first down. It's never good when they make it look easy, you know.
Yeah. Fourth quarter. Tiger Cats have to dig deep. They only lead by a point. 1st and 10 from their own 40. Redblacks. That's another completion, but Alden Darby Jr. brings down Nate Bahar immediately.
That was a great response to the pressure there. The Ticats really brought it again, and Alden Darby took out all the space. He didn't allow for that quick gain and that quick 5-yard route. He right at the line of scrimmage, goes up there to stop that for no gain. Awesome play.
Darby also with an interception in the game. Cam Kelly has an interception. See if the defense can come up big again. Just over 10 minutes to go. Fourth quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Redblacks from their own 40-yard line. Caleb Evans, empty backfield, throws quickly, and he spots Jalen Acklin. He makes the catch, and he's tripped up, but as he was falling, able to garner a few more yards. He's up to almost the Hamilton 50, so Jalen Acklin haunting his former team again.
That was true cover 0, so we've seen 3 pressures from Mark Washington's defense, and that time in that 2nd and 10, I like the call. You're at midfield, but excellent slant route from Jalen Acklin to stay on his feet and get the first.
Acklin, 5 catches in the game, 108 yards and a touchdown. Very first drive of the game, Redblacks scored a touchdown. Jalen Acklin got it. There's Dylan Wynn again, nullifying the run of the Redblacks. Right at the line of scrimmage, a sure tackle by Dylan Wynn.
You know, the first half, RJ, the Redblacks offense was really, big gain or 2 and out. It was they weren't exactly chipping away at it. In the second half, they are. They're sort of controlling the clock, controlling the field position, and just sort of chipping away at the Hamilton defense.
2nd and 9. Redblacks on the Hamilton 50-yard line. 3 receivers off to the field side. Caleb Evans throws over the middle. It was a hard pass, a lot of velocity on it. Shaq Johnson couldn't make the catch, and it'll be 3rd and long. And now the Redblacks are going to bring their punt team out. So ever since that first drive of the second half, Luke, these defenses, we'll give them the credit. They've shut down the opposing offense.
You're right. I mean, just a really good job at stopping these drives. And here's Richie Leone again, who's kind of the most impactful player on the field in this second half for the Redblacks. And he's got a chance to do his thing punting here and pin the Ticats deep in their end.
10th straight punt of the game. Lawrence Woods catches it at his own 1. He's up to the 10, breaks 1 tackle, breaks another. He's up to the 15, the 20. And finally brought down a good tackle. Catching him from behind was Troy Young, bringing down Woods. So the Tiger Cats offense coming back on the field. There's 8 minutes and 21 seconds to go at Tim Hortons Field, and the Tiger Cats lead by 1. This is the Ticats Audio Network.
This week on the Ticats Audio Network.
We would need to see it happen where you would go 1 versus 9 to make an accurate comparison over the two. And until that happens, and I understand why they're skeptical of it. I get all tradition and everything else, but tradition is tradition. At some point, you got to look to say, okay, this has been handled way too long, and it's not like you're seeing any different.
That's Jason Greger from Edmonton on the idea of having 1 division in the CFL. That was the discussion on the CFL this week with host Bubba O'Neill. Every Tuesday, a new roundtable joins him on the Ticats Audio Network. And what a surprise, Luke, that West Division teams would be in favor of 1 division this year.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And there is some truth to that. And boy, there's been 1 in 13 for East teams who are playing West teams. I mean, it's truly lopsided right now, and nobody thought that prior to the beginning of the year, right? Everyone thought these 2 teams were going to be very good.
Yeah.
And it's 0-4 versus 0-4 tonight. So
lots of season to go. And Argos beat the Riders earlier today.
Oh, there we go. That's right.
So this is for a tie for second place. Whichever team gets their first win of the season will be tied for second in the East Division with Montreal. Opening first down handoff, the running game, they've tried to establish it, Luke, but it has been far from dominant in this game.
Early on, there was sort of a lot of creativity in the Hamilton offense, and we saw a much more comfortable second down position throughout the first half, but again, they're faced with a 2nd and 8 here.
From their own 25-yard line, Dane Evans, empty backfield, has some time, pump fake. Oh, they've got hands on him. He's still on his feet, though. And this time, oh no, he's dropped the football. The football is loose. It's inside the 5-yard line. Diving for it, it's still loose. Who's got this football? Ottawa's celebrating. The ball is on the 1-yard line. We have seen this before. A late fumble that the other team picks up, and the Ottawa Redblacks force the fumble on Dane Evans, and they recover it on the Hamilton 1.
RJ, as the play started breaking down, I was thinking, just get sacked. Just hold on to the football. It was cross-made because you're right. We've seen it just like that. We've seen it happen the same way, the same part of the field. We've seen it happen, and he's getting yanked down. I think the only thing you could say as we see it again is almost a horse collar style tackle in the backfield, and you just have to let that play die and give Domagala a chance to punt it away. And now the Redblacks will surely, they get 3 chances from the 1-yard line here to push this into the end zone. And boy, this is the way that the games have progressed. They lost the 3rd quarter 7-0, and now they're into the 4th quarter, which is tied right now, and they'll be down by 7 in that 4th quarter here. And boy, you just got to stop that bleeding.
Caleb Evans comes in under center, short yardage group out there. It's a touchdown. So the Redblacks get the touchdown from a yard out on their first crack at it. And after having a 10-point lead evaporate. The Redblacks are back in the lead. It's currently 23-18. And converts coming up. Looks like they're going to go for 2 here.
All right, make it a 7-point game if they get the 2-point conversion. And boy, the interesting thing is that in this game, after that costly turnover, now it's going to be a 7-point, let's say, game here. In games past, that turnover has put it out of reach, right?
Yes. Really late joining the play is Mason Bennett, so the Tiger Cats are already a little bit muddled as they get set, and Caleb Evans throws to the end zone. That is high and incomplete. There are no flags, so Ottawa does not get the 2-point conversion, and it remains a 23-18 lead for Ottawa. There's 6 minutes and 59 seconds to go. The Tiger Cats offense will have to get something done late if they hope to get that first victory of the season. We'll have that for you when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. Big finish ahead at Tim Hortons Field. I'm RJ Broadhead with Luke Tasker. Tiger Cats and Redblacks came in 0-4. The 2 winless teams, and Tiger Cats had a lead at the half. They had a lead into the fourth quarter. And a fumble by Dane Evans, recovered by Ottawa, led to a Caleb Evans touchdown. He brought it in from a yard out, and it's a 23-18 lead for Ottawa. Here's the kickoff. It's caught by Lawrence Woods just at the inside of the numbers. Pretty good return across the 40, up to the 45, and finally brought down at the 46-yard line. So a nice return from Lawrence Woods.
Yep, that's a little bit of what they needed there. They needed to get themselves breathing room, get out away from their goal line, and this whole second half they've been stuck back in their own end. Boy, you just can't believe to have seen another turnover in what has just been a season riddled with them.
Dane Evans on the sidelines. It's Matthew Schultz in at quarterback for the Tiger Cats, trying to lead a game-winning drive here for Hamilton. Down by 5 points, 6 minutes, 40 seconds. The clock is running. Matthew Schultz takes a look to his left. He's going to keep it. He's up across the 50, battles for a couple of extra, and good first down yardage for Matthew Schultz. He'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down.
Yeah, great. That's second and 3, second and 3.5 here, and that's what they've been needing this whole second half. Now Tommy Condell has the whole playbook in front of him for a 2nd and 3. This is a really great position to call plays from, right short of midfield.
Schultz is their leading rusher in the game, 32 yards after that one. He's thrown 2 passes, completed them both for 27 yards. This time he hands off to Don Jackson, who needed 4 yards for the first down, and he did not get it. Only got a couple. And the crowd here at Tim Hortons Field getting restless. I'm hearing some boos.
Yeah, it's tough to see. But it's a balance, right? You're asking for a run game to be more effective, but then it's also hard to see these runs called that aren't working when you would love for them to push the ball downfield. And so it's a balance of trying to get things moving and then abandoning something if it's not working for you.
Michael Damagala, he's been busy. He's out for the punt again. It's a wobbly punt, and Terry Williams caught it and tucked his head down because he knew the Tiger Cats were well within the 5 yards. So made the catch at about his own 18, and the flags will be against the Tiger Cats.
Yeah, it's on Lawrence Woods, who doubles up as the return man and then covers the kicks as well. And
no yards. Hamilton number 37, 15-yard penalty, first down.
We used to say, it's such an interesting part of the Canadian game is the no yards penalty and the importance of the kicking and the returning. And we always used to say, you'd rather get beat, you'd rather fall down than get a no yards penalty. You could almost, if you just have to sit on the sidelines for that play and you got to play with 11, you may have a better net punt than if you go out there and get a no yards. It's just such a costly 15. And now Hamilton has 8 penalties for 80 yards on the night. Ottawa still 3 penalties for 0 yards.
Amazing. Redblacks from their own 33. It's a handoff to William Powell, and it's been tough for the Redblacks to run the ball in this game too. Both defenses very strong against the run. Just a couple of yards for Powell.
And the Hamilton defense, Coach O was giving them credit for the good things they've done this season, and tonight they have been the strong point. You know, they've been great against the run. They've had their pass breakups and a couple big plays here and there, but for the most part, they've had a successful evening.
5-point lead for the Redblacks. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go. The clock is running. Caleb Evans, 2nd and 8, throws off to the right. It is caught by Jalen Acklin, and he carries a couple of Ticats with him as he gets the first down for Ottawa.
Acklin having a great night, and they continue to find him at those moments when they need a drive to stay alive. And there he catches it and sneaks away from a tackle, which would have been behind the first down marker, but gets that extra 4 yards. And here they are with back just shy of their own 50 and killing this clock and pushing down for a chance to get more points.
Jalen Acklin, 118 yards receiving. The rest of the receivers combined for Ottawa, just 70 yards. There's another completion. Oh, that might have gone incomplete. Looked like Adams had come up with it. He did not, so incomplete.
That's Alden Darby again, getting there right on time and breaking up that play. Ooh, this is a crucial 2nd and 10 here. To really, it's getting both to the play clock, and you want to get more chances to push the ball down the field, but also they're going to get into kicking field goal range here shortly.
And Tiger Cats can't afford that. That would put them down by 8. They're currently down by 5. Caleb Evans, he slung it off to the left, and Cam Kelly was inches away from his second pick of the game, and he would have been off to the end zone. That would have been a pick 6 for sure. It was complete to Powell, but for a gain of very little, and Ottawa will have to punt. That was close. So we'll take one more break as we're into the 3-minute warning. 2 minutes, 59 seconds on the clock, and the Tiger Cats trail Ottawa 23-18. The finish is ahead on the Ticats Audio Network. Back at Tim Hortons Field, 3 minutes to go. Tiger Cats trail Ottawa 23-18. Tiger Cats led at the half 18-10. No points in the second half. It's been a quiet second half offensively, Luke.
Entirely different looking offense. They've had 7 possessions in the second half, 6 punts, 1 fumble. Fumble for a loss. You know, that's their 7 drives, and they've only got 46 yards of total net offense in the second half here. So it's been the story that they've had to overcome all year, and so far they've not figured it out. With 3 minutes left in the game, they've got to change something up here.
These second halves, in particular, the fourth quarters, have been mind-boggling for Hamilton. They are about to get the ball back, and Lawrence Woods, we've seen him make some magic already this season. He's standing back at his own 7-yard line. He'll come in a little bit for this Richie Leone kick. Gets it at his own 15, goes straight up the middle. There's a little bit of room there. He's up past the 30, breaks another tackle. There's a big return. He might be gone. He's across midfield. The 40, the 30, the 25, the 20. And he stumbles just inside the 10. He ran out of steam. He had nothing left. Lawrence Woods, an amazing return, so close to taking it to the end zone. But the bottom line, with 2:21 to go here, Luke, it's great field position for the Tiger Cats to get a touchdown and get this lead back.
Wow, you could see it right from the start of the play, and he actually, at the end, he actually noticed he was being tracked down and kind of surprised himself and stumbled to the ground in a tackle. And he looked over his shoulder and kind of, didn't realize he was going to get maybe tracked down. But unbelievable return. Right from the start, you could see it. We've been talking about Richie Leone all night. He's had an unbelievable net punting average. But when you kick those low-flying punts, sometimes you're setting up your coverage team for disaster, and just unbelievable job by Lawrence Woods to identify that weak spot and hit it with great speed. The Ticat offense has to capitalize on this.
Lawrence Woods is still down. He was gone. He was not touched, stumbled on his own. Marco Dubois was chasing him. It looked like it was futile. Wouldn't have a chance to catch him, and Lawrence Woods stumbled short of the end zone. And whether he actually tweaked something on that play or is just pure exhausted after returning 88 yards, almost returning that punt for a touchdown.
Yeah, it looked like he fell to the ground and kind of was tackled, kind of tripped up, and didn't get up cleanly. And that Ticat offense, if you think here now, I mean, so there's 2:21 left in this game, which we all CFL fans know it could last forever, right? They could take us forever to get through that. But maybe they get this touchdown, and when it's all said and done, they were at least able to eat up a little bit more of this clock in doing so.
Lawrence Woods, his helmet off, the long hair flowing, and he's got a little skip in his step as he jogs off the field under his own power. Tiger Cats need him to stay healthy. He's a game changer. All of a sudden, Tiger Cats, who haven't been able to move the ball at all offensively, are first and goal from the Ottawa 8. 2:21 to go. A chance to get the lead back. In at quarterback remains Matthew Schultz. 3 receivers off to his right. Don Jackson flanks him to the left. Schultz under pressure. Has to run to his right. Avoids the initial attempt to bring him down and realizes there was just nobody open. He wasn't going to try to make something out of nothing and threw the ball away.
Yep. Smartly done there. And that was a very, very Brandon Banks timing on that return, meaning right when the team needed it. And that was Speedy B. You know, every now and again, something needed to, you got to be the spark plug and you got to start something off and you're down by one, and then boom, a big return. But this is 2nd and 8 now, and this is a huge, huge play.
It's getting a little tense. 2nd and 8 from the 8. Matthew Schultz wants to throw. He's going to run, and he gets a couple of yards, maybe down to the 6. They have to go for it here, don't they, Luke?
Yep, they're going to stay out here. And that was tough. Matt Schultz didn't have enough time to sit there comfortably, but had he been able to get his eyes back from the right side of the field and to the left, Tim White was ready to receive that at the goal line there. But boy, he had to step up and get out of there. Got to give him time to find his guys and get the ball out of his hand.
Started from the 8. They've had 2 chances. They've progressed the ball a yard. They need the end zone. 3rd down. They're down by 5. The throw to the end zone. It's picked off. Ottawa picked it off. Hakeem Bailey, the rookie corner, with the interception. And the Tiger Cats, after that great return from Lawrence Woods, looked like they were in a pretty good spot to get the lead back. A turnover. And now trouble.
Yep, and you know it's 3rd down. It's just as costly as an incompletion there, right? I mean, it's going to be a turnover on downs or an interception in this case, and you know, you're trying to force it. And boy, you think back to obviously Lawrence Woods is going to be kicking himself after such an impressive return to have not been able to capitalize and put that in the end zone. It seems so. This is the beauty of sports and what you have to do as a professional player. They still have every chance to win this game. There's so much time left, and if they 2 and out Ottawa on their own end here, they've got the ball back with plenty of time and probably at the midfield.
Tiger Cats earlier in the game had 3 cracks from the Ottawa 2-yard line. They couldn't put it into the end zone. They had 3 cracks from the 8-yard line, couldn't put it into the end zone. And a run here on 1st down for the Redblacks. A modest gain. Looks like about 7 yards.
Yeah, and right up the middle. It's a run right up the middle. The Redblacks, when you're backed up in your own end like this, you're just hoping to get that 1st down and straightforward, pounding it away and end up in 2nd and 3. I mean, the Ticats have to tighten down that run defense at this moment when you can expect just that simple run up the middle.
2nd and 3, so some options here for the Redblacks, but they are deep in their own zone. They're on their own 11 right now. Minute 39 to go. 1 receiver for the Redblacks, so clearly going to run it, and the defense does come up big. Ted Laurent right there. And the Redblacks don't get the 1st down. Tiger Cats are going to get this football back. You'd have to think pretty good field position too, Luke.
Yep, that's just what they needed to do. I mean, they incredible run stop there on what would have been the more, they had 10 guys in there blocking for that run. 1 receiver, 1 quarterback, and then all into the run game, and just a great job by the Hamilton defense, who also had their big-bodied personnel in the game. And now Lawrence Woods back out there to see if he can make something else happen.
Wow, he was exhausted. He would have got some refreshments on the sideline to try to get himself going again. That last play for the Redblacks took only 5 seconds off the clock, but the clock is running here, and it's down to 1:13 and rolling. Richie Leone from his own goal line. Lawrence Woods runs off to his left. The ball lands right at midfield, and the Redblacks are well within the 5 yards.
Crucial error there. The ball's sitting there on the field with Redblacks all around it. All you got to do is touch it, and it's 15 yards. So the ball ended up bouncing, rolling out of bounds at the 49-yard line, and albeit okay field position, but you could just as easily be at the 34 right now. I mean, it's just unbelievable. You got to have at least the level of awareness to anybody could have kicked it, touched it, anything, and that would have been a free first down and a half.
Here are the Tiger Cats on their own 49. Dane Evans banking at quarterback. Empty backfield, and he throws over the middle. It is caught by Braylon Addison. And it's a Tiger Cats first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling. Evans now over 300 yards passing tonight. There is a Redblack down on the field.
Adam Auclair in that breakup there, or that attempted breakup, slow to get up. But that Braylon Addison, he's the guy. He's the guy that I would want the chance to get that ball over the middle, because his ability to catch in traffic is superhuman. I mean, he's just got a great sense for the ball and an ability to make a play on it with perfect timing. And Dane back in and a chance to make things right here. And now, interestingly, RJ, the clock's not the enemy here. I mean, there's plenty of time here. You've got to just run a smooth, efficient offense here and get something on this first down. You do not have to even get 10. You don't have to get the touchdown. You're running a regular offensive drive from the 26-yard line now. 57 seconds is what's on the clock. Tiger Cats are down by 5. Braylon Addison used sparingly in the past 2 games. He was a bit banged up, a game-time decision a couple of games ago, but in this game, 4 receptions for 56 yards, including some big ones here in the fourth quarter. Under a minute to go, Dane Evans. 1st and 10 from the Ottawa 26-yard line. Tiger Cats need a touchdown. They're down by 5. Dane Evans, couple of steps back, throws quickly to that far sideline. It's complete to Tim White inside the 10. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down. Tim White, beautiful sail route to the left side of the field. And just like he should, just like they're coaching when you're in this kind of offense, he taps his feet in bounds and he's pushed out. Can run their standard offense. Beautiful.
Here are the Tiger Cats on the 8-yard line again. Handoff goes to Don Jackson, who will get inside the 5. A yard or 2 short of the end zone. Looks like they'll spot that ball at about the 2.5.
What are they going to call here, RJ? This has been a tough field position for the Ticats offense.
They've had too many chances. They got to get this into the end zone. Another handoff and nothing. Possibly a bit of a loss. So the handoff went to Don Jackson, could not get into the end zone. And that brings up 3rd down from the 3-yard line.
Unbelievable run stop by Ottawa there. They're just exploding through Hamilton's front 5.
This is it, 30 seconds to go. Hamilton again, right at the doorstep of the end zone. Dane Evans going to pass this time, looks to the end zone. Touchdown, Tiger Cats! Tim White, 19 seconds on the clock, and the Tiger Cats lead.
Wow. I mean, just the unbelievable ups and downs and adversity to overcome. And Dane Evans, after it's all said and finds himself in there for the game-winning touchdown pass. Not an easy catch there by Tim White. That was across the middle, and there was guys all around, but Dane set his feet and zipped it in there. Tim White ran right into the tunnel. We're not quite done yet.
Yeah, nothing is done until the clock reads 0.
Oh, man, you're right.
I asked Tim White, a couple of practices ago what plays he likes. He says, anytime the ball is in my hands.
Well, the Ticats are up by 1, and they're kicking a single right now.
Okay. So they convert it. Seth Small hits that single. So you're thinking, well, go for 2 and be up by 3.
It's interesting, though, because there is only 19 seconds. They may actually be preventing the crazy single, and trying to, so now they're going to force Ottawa to get all the way into field goal range. It's not like you have a minute 19, right? It's just 19 seconds. And so that's actually really interesting. Every team in sort of that crazy scenarios that can happen in the CFL kicking game, and that 1 point to punt it through by any player, and that's eliminated now by having a 2-point lead.
What a game this has been. 2 0-4 teams have put on a show, both desperate for that victory. At times in this game, it looked like either team could get that victory. Nothing is done yet. Tiger Cats lead by 2 points, 25-23. There's 19 seconds on the clock, and they will kick the ball off to the Redblacks. Terry Williams and R.J. Harris. They're both back for Ottawa. R.J. Harris directing Terry Williams to go to that far side. Damagala, his kickoff, caught by Williams at his own 12. He gets to the 30, the 35, the 40. Damagala makes the tackle. Wow. Michael Damagala had to tackle him himself as Williams got up past the 50-yard line, or almost to the 50. Let's see where they spot this. Yeah, it'll be right at the Ottawa 50, so they don't need a ton to get into field goal range, but they don't have much time. 13 seconds.
The wind is slightly against Ottawa. It's not anything like some of the classic Tim Hortons Field wind that we've seen, but it is slightly against Ottawa. I don't know, RJ. They probably reasonably have to get at least 15 yards, maybe 20 yards. But there's 13 seconds left. They got to run. They got to get those yards, get the ball down, and get their field goal unit set. Damagala just had an unbelievable open field tackle on a returner.
Had to make the tackle, otherwise Terry Williams might have been gone. Empty backfield for Caleb Evans, has some time. Looks up the middle. It's a short pass right to midfield, short of the first down. It took about 6 seconds off the clock. 7 seconds remain. Not enough to get into field goal range, you wouldn't think. I believe Ottawa just called a timeout. So 7 seconds. Do they have time for a play and then bring the field goal unit on?
You cannot waste much time, but they're right now. So right now, if this was third down, this is all they've got. You've got a 61, 62-yard field goal into maybe negligible wind, or if anything, it's slightly against your kick. Boy, this will be really interesting because they do not have time to let routes develop downfield and push the ball downfield. They've got to get whatever they're going to get very quickly. Of course, in the CFL, you're always going to end on a play. We're going to have an additional play so long as they can get on the ground prior to the double zeros.
There is a Tiger Cat down on the field.
Oh, it's Lawrence Woods, unfortunately. So, he already has had attention on the field after his huge return. That was momentum changer here, and he must be probably still dealing with something. And
yeah, he almost ran a punt back for a touchdown. 7 seconds on the clock. Tiger Cats lead by 2. Lewis Ward, the field goal kicker for the Redblacks, came into this game having missed one field goal. He was 12 for 13, but he's 1 for 2 today. He missed from 49 yards. His long that he's made this season is a 43-yarder. He has not attempted a field goal this season of 50 or more yards. 7 seconds. Ottawa needs more yardage to even think about a field goal. They are on the Hamilton 54-yard line, so just past midfield. 2nd and 4, 7 seconds. That's the key. The downs don't matter much here for Ottawa. Caleb Evans doesn't have a ton of time. Throws complete, enough for a first down inside the 50, just short of the 45-yard line to R.J. Harris, and there's 2 seconds on the clock.
Interesting. Ottawa caught that ball, and I actually thought he was going to kind of shake and move a little bit, and if he had, the clock may have died, and you got that interesting situation where if that receiver's not savvy enough in the moment to get down, but great solid tackle, and this is a long field goal here for the game.
Lewis Ward, it's going to be a 54-yard field goal attempt to win the football game. 2 0-4 teams. It comes down to this. The snap, the hold, the kick. It's short. It's short. And Tunde Adeleke will run it out and slide at the 12-yard line. There's no time left. The game is over. The Tiger Cats get their first victory of this season. And boy, was it dramatic. 25-23. Tiger Cats are in the win column.
Wow. 4 lead changes throughout the night, including very late in the game. In the CFL season now, 13 of 21 games have come down to the last 3 minutes. It's just unbelievably exciting and not mistake-free. I mean, not mistake-free at all. There was the turnovers and mistakes left and right. I mean, return man with a sure touchdown falling down and interceptions at poor times, and still tonight they found a way to overcome those mistakes instead of succumbing to what has been losses throughout the first 4 games. Dane Evans coming in to throw the final game-winning touchdown. I mean, that's great to see, but they've got a lot of things to get figured out still. But it's better to do it after having one in the win column.
It sure is, and we've got a replay of that Lewis Ward field goal attempt. He was bang on down the middle, and it was not short by much. Like, we're talking a couple of feet.
Yeah. How about this, too? In that same field position, the way that Richie Leone is punting, had the Ticats gone for 2 and missed that was probably close to where Richie Leone can target that single out of the back of the end zone. That was a really interesting decision by Coach O that I really like now that you think through it, because they had to try that field goal, and the Ticats defense did an amazing job of, like you said, holding them to, if it was 1 more yard, it might have been enough.
Yep.
Like, that's really, really, really impressive job. And that is continuity football, man. All 3 phases working together in the final minute when it really counted.
Time now for the Access Storage recap of the game. Score a touchdown with affordable storage. Access Storage has flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca. Tim White with the touchdown with 19 seconds left. You said it, Luke. It's never over till there's zeros on the clock, and it came down to that last field goal attempt that was just short after an 0-4 start. Coming off a bye week, what do you think this victory will do for the Tiger Cats?
Boy, it means everything, and so flip it the other way. What is Ottawa feeling now? And neither team played horribly, but by no means was either team mistake-free. Lawrence Woods just onto a backflip out there. He must be feeling okay. I don't know. But some really, really encouraging things. I mean, the special teams unit played pretty well tonight. Hamilton's offense is just, it'll be an ongoing story for us to talk about. Still, the turnovers. And they came at very bad times tonight. And in the second half, like they have all season, 5 turnovers in total. In fact, and this is one of those unique circumstances where they did win the game while losing the turnover ratio, which, as we know, rarely happens. But some really impressive things. I mean, I liked how Braylon Addison was getting involved. In the first half, the run game was better than it has been. Dane Evans coming in, like we said, after a really costly fumble, but then refocusing, driving it down the field, and throwing a game-winning touchdown. Got to give it to the Hamilton defense. Couple big plays here and there, but they have been playing very well and made a crucial stop in the final drive when they had to.
Well, that was a lot of fun. An entertaining first victory for the Tiger Cats. They beat the Redblacks 25-23. Tiger Cats postgame with Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantuz is coming up next. For our executive producer, Peter McEwen, our technical operator, Michael Steyer, our statistician, Jeff Giordad, and of course my partner, Luke Tasker, I'm RJ Broadhead. Thanks for listening to Hamilton Tiger Cats football on the Ticats Audio Network.
Ticats Audio Network.